Yeah, yeah. Roll call missing. They go to sauce bars. Clock on the wall, still ticking. Blue crew posted in the bag. A whole room. Listen. True crime cafe, coffee, black eyes, red files on the table, cold cases, cold dread, seeking the truth. Ink stains on his hand, pics on the cardboard, string lines, map land, busting these cases, long nights, tight grind. Everything will be fine. He repeat that line. Blue crew backs him, keep him on track. One step from the edge, they pulling them back. True crime cafe, they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, they go to softball, hoping he can answer just a few. Yo, true crime cafe, they go to softball, say it with your chest, this the true talk. Solving the bullshit, lies in the booth, paper plates, cheap meals, chasing down proof, praying real quiet, hands on his face, fighting for the next meal. In another cold case, street top tip line, voices on mute, he dig through the dirt, searching for a root, true justice distant, like it changed address, but he still take notes, never half step. True crime cafe, they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost, gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, they go to softball, seeking he can answer just a few ago. True crime cafe, they go to softball, say it with your chest, it's the truth talk. True talk.
On sort de son fucking crazy out there, right?
A true crime cafe, they go to softballs, cold brew, cold case, chalk lines on the gloss.
Seeking the truth, finding the time, files on the counter, grind with the grind. Blue crew backs him, keeps him in line. Sirens in his pocket, eyes on the sign. Got a wall full of faces, string tied tight, every red pen circle, another long night. True crime cafe, where the real ones bleed, busting these cases till the lost get free. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, everything will be fine if the truth aligns. If the truth aligns. If the truth aligns.
Moving the bullshit, praying low real. Knuckles on the table, fighting for the next meal. True justice far out of view. Smoke in the doorway, what else can he do?
Hoping he can answer just a few names in a notebook, voices breaking through. True crime cafe, where the real ones bleed, busting these cases till the lost get free. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, everything will be fine if the truth aligns. If the truth aligns. If the truth aligns.
Crew, true crew, yeah. Step up, get stepped on. Fizzy, sassy, Cassie, mama bear on the call. Brandy B, Tandy swinging hammers through the wall. Tomboys are the last 24 on the grind. SRB, Rach, Molly, Drake on the line. Wisdom speaks while you're looking down. Breakdown, typically unique. Shut a fake clown face down. Moonlit baby roll, Chrissy chaos in the chat. Cat K, Bonnie B, Lucy pushing back. Black P, Randy Foley, a story on deck. Moderating all the mess, keep the timeline in check. They do it all the time, make a problem disappear. Say the word once, stay up there. Blue crew, true crew, better put respect on the name. They run this scene, they don't play that game. Trolls beware, cause they don't ever care. Running this shit, making everyone aware. Day after day, yeah, they do it their way. Locking it down when the room go crack. Crew, flags in the air. If you slide sideways, better say a quick prayer. They keep it in line. Keep it in line. From the first loud bang to the late night side. blue crew, true crew, better put respect on the name. They run this scene, they don't play that game. Trolls beware, cause they don't ever care. Running this shit, making everyone aware. Day after day, yeah, they do it their way. Locking it down when the room go crazy. Crew, true crew, flags in the air. Say thank you loud if you really dare.
Crime Cafe, where they go to sauce balls, seeking the truth, finding the time, busting these cases, everything fine. Blue crew backs him, keeps him in line. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, solving the bullshit, praying for real. Big Daddy Meatball fighting for the next meal. True Crime Cafe, can you feel that grind? Digging in the dark for a twisted storyline. True justice hiding far out of view. Hoping every night he can answer just a few. Yeah. Camera on the counter, coffee going cold. Hours every day, chasing what he's told. Keeping it real, never read from a script. Just a man with the mic and a tight grip. Clicking through the files, faces on the wall. Names in the notebook, hearing every call. If the system sleeps, then he won't rest. Puts the weight on his chest, puts it all to the test. Crime Cafe, can you feel that grind? Digging in the dark for a twisted storyline. True justice hiding far out of view. He's hoping every night he can answer just a few. Find answers, gotta make time. If nobody listens, who draws the line?
Alrighty then. Whoa. Welcome back, everybody. We are open for business. Great to see you today again here at the cafe. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to the Blue Crew for jumping on in here, taking time out of your day to do what you do in here as well. Appreciate you all so very much. I hope you're all having an amazing day, guys. Welcome to Throw It Out here. Throw It Out there Thursday. You throw it out. We talk about it. We're going to talk. And talk. We're just going to talk. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. We're going to talk because I like to talk and I like to talk to y'all. So that's what we're going to do. Do. So you guys know how we do this. You know what comes next. I think Kim from Typically Unique is going to join me today. So let's do it. All right.
Flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables walls carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with a restless rage, justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hug the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betray. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the brave. At the True Crime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay. In the True Crime Cafe.
Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Good to see you today. I hope you're all having a great day. Come on in, get comfortable, grab a seat. Let's do this. Whoa. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on Throw It Out There Thursday. Little different thing today. Whatever we throw out there, we're going to talk about it. Whatever it is, I don't care if we're talking about your garbage bill or the way your toilet flushes. We're going to talk about it. So we will just talk about it. Let's see who we got in here with us today. Love Another Habit. So good to see you. Spaghetti Taco, welcome. Lizzie Turtleballs in the house. Our own mega stars in the house. Good to see you. Jennifer Meineke, welcome back to you. Wonderful to see you today. Lisa Winchester, you too. Let's see. Beach Babe, good to see you today. Hope you're having a wonderful one. Trish Crow, wonderful to see you. Thank you, Meg, for that. Sleuth, there's 75 in the house. Always happy to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. Sammy T, evening to you from the UK. Great to see you. Becca, 1019, good to see you today. Kohlberger and Proud, good to see you. New Mexico, 444, welcome back to you. Let's see here. So, what else do we have, folks? Let's see. Pokey Dots. Whoa. Good to see you, Pokey. Thank you for joining us today. Miss Paula, the positive one. Fitzhenry, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Anna D, welcome back to you. George Stewart, good to see you, my friend. But Randy B, my OG, good to see you, Brandy. Beverly Fike, welcome to you. That's a plus. Okay. Well, it is a plus to see you. Scotland, huh? Yes. We got a lot of Europeans in the house, and I love it. UK, Scotland, a European. I don't know if that really counts, but you know what I mean. Not from here. I'll just put it that way. Excuse me. Guys, make sure you're sharing this out if you will, please. And please, if you will,
Hit that like button.
Lucy Kitty, good to see you. Wade Bird, Miss Christine, great to see you today. Let's see.
Well. Who else do we got in here? Mamo's thinking. Good to see ya. Don't work too hard, Pokey. Lucy Kitty. Meow, meow, meow.
Carrie's Gold, good to see you. A.R. Hayes in the house with Convict's Thoughts. Good to see you, boss. Thank you for joining us. I got you, George. Come on now. Share it out.
Share it out.
Maybe today our special guest will be Barry White.
Hello, babies. Welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
AR in the hizzy.
Hope everybody's having a good day today, though. Truly. Yeah. Weather-wise, it's pretty. Ugh. It's overcast, chilly, and rainy. You will quit? Meg's gonna quit? Meg's gonna quit. Okay. I don't know that you'll get unemployment, Meg, but you can quit. Birthday sangria, huh? Happy birthday to you, sir. Crud Dog Studios, good to see you. We don't have any snow, thank God, but it's still crappy. It's like no sun. Oh, Northeast Ohio doesn't get sun, so it doesn't matter. Untraceable journer. Wait a minute. Untraceable sojourner. There we go. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Meg has 11 million jobs. I'm sure nursing will pay. Sure. I guess I'll have to find a new HR person here. Is today your birthday, AR? Or are you doing it with somebody else? Another one of our community members, Miss Christina, her birthday's today, too. Again, I believe she said she would. Maybe not, but Miss Kim from Typically Unique may be joining us. Yeah, I know. Excuse me. Is it his birthday? Did he say? Today's yours. Tomorrow. Oh, shit. No way. Damn. Yeah, you are screwed, bro. Damn, that's a lot all at one time, brother. So I'm gonna have to roll this out. One minute here. Make it make it funny. We'll start here.
Hey Albert, today is your birthday. Enjoy the day and make the most of it.
Today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today is the day. Today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today is the day. Today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today is your birthday, today.
All right, AR, that's for you. Give me a minute. Let's get Jen's out there too. Let's see. 1 minute. I had to talk to my friend Kevin to see if he could help us out with this one.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Nealon. Our top story tonight. It appears that happy birthday wishes are in order. We are monitoring things closely as details continue to come in, but it seems... Yes, I have confirmation. We're talking about you, Jen. Happy birthday! I'm not sure why you get the credit. Seems to me like your mom did the heavy lifting that day. Our team has discovered footage from one of the many celebrations taking place in your honor.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, no, we want to celebrate. Jen. And this is a song that we dedicate.
Happy birthday, Jen. This is for you.
And that's just the stuff we can show. Now for some deeper analysis, let's go live via satellite to our special guest commentator, Other Kevin. Other Kevin, what are your thoughts on all this? Speechless, Kevin. Wow.
Today is the day, it's finally here. Today we celebrate another year. The party's on, we're gonna go till dawn. And it ain't gonna stop till the cake is gone. Let's have a ball, you deserve it all. 'Cause everybody's celebrating you today.
Happy birthday, Jen. This is for you.
Just wow. Insightful as always. Thank you. Well, I'm now being told that we are out of time and that I should pull this lever. I'm Kevin Nealon. Thanks for watching. See you here, Jimmy. Thanks, Bob.
All right, happy birthday, Jen Hayes. Very happy birthday to you and you as well, AR. God bless, brother. I hope you guys have, both of you have the most amazing birthday you can. And happy earlier anniversary to you as well, brother. Nothing but love for you. Happy birthday. 29 again. Yes, I gotcha. Happy day anniversary, Miss Krista Marie with reality. Good to see you. Happy day anniversary on 8 months. It looks like my OG, Brandy B, he's at 34 months. Damn, long time. Brandy's been with me 5+ years, guys, just so you know. So, yeah. And again, happy birthday to you both, Jen and AR. I hope you have an amazing, amazing year leading up to next year so we can do it again. Absolutely. Happy birthday and happy anniversary again, guys. Chevy Metal, good to see you. I'm Kevin Nealon, and you're not. I'm Dago, and you're not. You're welcome, bro. You know better. Dago, you have a OB. OB. What does that mean? Moonflower, good to see you. Nancy Road, welcome to you. Chevy Metal, good to see ya. In Stitches, welcome. Gracefully Salty, good to see ya. Wade Bird. Lisa Winchester. I think I said hi to some of you guys already. I'm sorry. Everybody just jumping in. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to wish AR Hayes and his amazing wife Jen a happy birthday to both of them and a happy anniversary as well. My anniversary is coming up in May. 20 years. Yeah, our 20th. We've been together 25, but that'll be our 20-year anniversary. OB doctor for pregnant women. No, I do not have an OB. I'm sorry. Why would you think? What? Where does that come from there, Stitches? The tomboys in the house. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Right. I know Christine. I don't know that maybe she won't be in here today, but I know it's her birthday as well. Jules in the house. Good day. Good to see you, Jules from Down Under. You say OB? You did say OB. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Come on in, everybody, and go grab a seat. Welcome to Let's Throw It Out There Thursday. Let's just talk. Oh, I got you, Stitches. I got you. Our anniversary is in 10 days. 7 years married, 19 together. Congrats for you. Let's see here. I was going to say it's definitely been over a year. So, yes, happy Dagoversary to you, Miss Krista. Always grateful to see these Dagoversaries and love that you guys are part of our family, all of you. 96 people in the house right now. We got 44 likes. Come on, y'all. Let's pretend like we like Dago.
Just pretend.
$34 months. That's right. I think it's been a little bit more than that, but that's all good. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat, hit the like button, share it out if you will. So sorry, George. So sorry. I'm old. I'm 51. I'll be 52 this year. Definitely old. Let's see what we got here. Holy hell, Tomboy. 29 months? That's a lie. Tomboy's been here as long as, just about as long, almost not too much after Brandy. That's definitely longer than that. But happy Dagoversary to you, Miss Tomboy. Thank you for being part of this family and this crew. We love you too, Stitches, for sure. For sure. Guys, did you see the new song that Stephen Fillmore, welcome, that our president put out? You guys see that yet? Holy hell. The man is talented. I don't think he even knew he was. Check it out, y'all. I didn't know he was a musician, but look at this. Check this out.
This is like a rock war number 2. A rock war number 2. I like to look through those oil supplies. But be ashamed if someone invaded you. If someone invaded you. And I ran so far away. From my red, from them night and day.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Whoa. They ruined that song. Sorry. Flock of Seagulls. No. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Britney Spears got arrested? What? Again? What's up, Jesse? Good to see you, Jesse Lynn. Hasn't anyone come out and kidnap? Oh, Jesse, you're hilarious. I love it. That's a vibe. Is it a vibe? It is a vibe, Miss Krista. Definitely a vibe. I don't know. Maybe she won't join us. I thought Kim was going to join us at some point, but Moonflower's in the house. Good to see you, Moonflower. Yeah, oh, you definitely don't have to have a membership. Once you've been here once, you're part of the community and part of the family. That's how that works. Riz Biz, what's going on? I guess we can pull that up and look into Britney. Right turn, Clyde. Good to see you. Miss Krista threw it out there, and it's Throw It Out There Thursday, so we're going to look at it. You're welcome to join me, Krista, if you want to discuss it with me. There's a link pinned at the top of the chat. Let's, Alexi Sec, look.
Look it. Good to see ya.
Welcome, guys. Come on in. Here, let me pull this up here. See if Miss Krista wants to join. Welcome, Lisa Q. Feel bad. Britney seems like she needs a lot of help, guys. Blink, blink, blink. Let's see. Like we got 101 peeps in the house, guys. Please make sure to hit that like button. Who knows what we're going to talk about today? We're going to bounce all over the place. Take a little break from reality and just talk about whatever we talk about, guys. How about that one? Decompress. I'm sure we'll get into something true crime because that's what we do. So let's see this first, I guess. Come on in, guys. Oop. I got stopped by the fan. The fan stopped you. Oh, no. Did you have to sign an autograph, Kim? Was it a photograph or just an autograph? Baby Ames. Baby Ames. Love the name.
Baby Ames.
Brittany needs help. For sure needs help. Let's see what's going on here. Holes in the house. What's up? What up? What up? Fan. I got you, Kim. I got you.
Britney Spears is facing some legal trouble. The pop superstar was arrested in California just after 9 p.m. local time on the evening of March 4th, according to police records viewed by E! News. She was released the following morning. Following her release, Britney is expected to appear in court May 4th at 8:15 a.m. local time to address her charges, according to her jail records. TMZ reports, citing law enforcement sources, that Britney was arrested on charges of driving under the influence. E! News has reached out to reps for Britney and local law enforcement regarding her arrest, but has not yet heard back. Britney's arrest comes 1 month after she opens up about how her ongoing estrangement from her family is affecting her. The circus singer writes in a since-deleted Instagram post on February 4th, As people, all we really want is to feel connected to each other and never feel alone. For those of you in your family that have said to help you is to isolate you and to make you feel unbelievably left out, they were wrong. We can forgive as people, but you don't ever forget. Yearning and longing for contact is always crucial.
You're speeding. Let me get your license, registration, insurance.
My license actually is with my security at home, and I don't have it with me right now at this moment. I'm so sorry, but it's like 10 minutes away.
You were going 60, and it's like a 45.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Can I get your registration, insurance?
Excuse me?
Registration, insurance?
I don't know. All my information is at my house.
I know, Mark, that she was under a conservatorship with her father, and I thought they had that lifted at one point from last I heard, but I don't know. It's so sad to see the things she puts out. It really is. Miss Kim's in the chat. She'll be joining us here shortly. It's really sad to watch her go through whatever she's going through. I think she needs some help, truly, guys. That's just my opinion, and it's just really sad.
Okay. Do you have a valid license?
Yes, sir. I just flew in from overseas, so they have my security at my house.
I've stopped you before out here for speeding. I've stopped you before out here for speeding. I gave you a break last time. Can I get your full name?
Welcome, Ms. Krista. How are you today?
I'm good. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome, Blue Devil. Good to see you.
Hi, everybody.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said hi, everybody.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. It's been a minute. Yeah, this is sad to see these things with her, guys. Considering where she was at one point, where she is now in life, it's just, you watch, she's all over YouTube. She's always putting out these weird videos, and it's just, yeah, it does. That's a good point, Chevy. The child stars, there's always, it's like a pattern with some of them, guys. It's growing up as a child star, I think that they're put in front of things they shouldn't be, and they're living lifestyles they shouldn't be as a child. And money, it's the money. The parents seem to prefer the money over the child. You know what I mean? It's just sickening to me.
They sold her soul and theirs.
Yeah. Yes.
And then it's like they just leave her to embarrass herself. Somebody who made probably more money than any pop star that we know, but continuously, right?
Yeah.
Then Lou Taylor takes this is documented, it's not alleged, that Lou Taylor took about $600 million from her and washed it through the Kardashians. That alone is sick. And it's just I find it odd that Amanda Bynes, Britney, Michael Jackson, all their family seem to
all of the boy bands. What's his name?
Aaron Carter.
No, the producer guy or the manager. He did it to all of them. They all together.
Yeah. The other guy. I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, but he and they take full advantage of these kids, their families. They show dollar signs, and then they never give them the kids never get the money. None of it.
Think about it. Britney and Wendy Williams and somebody like Britney, and they should be living life and not have to work again.
Right.
As much money and they both have worked so hard to get where they were at, and then to just and I blame Hollywood. I blame, I blame culture. I blame all that stuff. I feel like to just discard your family. I mean, her family didn't discard her, but it seems like Britney said, it seems like Amanda Bynes did. And
Lindsay Lohan has brought herself back. Yeah, Lou was his name. Tomboy's right.
Yeah, there's Lou Taylor, and then there's the other guy.
His name was Lou too, but I can't think of it. I'll show you guys. But
either
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and I swear to God, New Kids on the Block were involved there somewhere too. But yeah, they've done it to all of them. Hey, Lucy.
Disney too. It seems like Disney stars mostly.
Oh, the Disney kids, and then you got that other guy from Head of the Class. That Jesus Christ. It's just all of it. I covered that a little bit, yeah. But let's see what happened with Miss Britney. This is kind of sad, I
This
think.
is sad, yeah. And I can sometimes I feel like it's not her, it's AI, but in the reels, but you could tell by her voice in this one that it's her.
Yeah.
Seems to me anyway.
The middle. Date of birth.
This has run for a long time right now.
Do you have a registration of the car? Do you have insurance? Doesn't your security usually follow you?
No, my security's at the house.
He's at the house. Okay. Are you able to have him bring your stuff? Can you have him bring your information?
Drive there?
No, I mean, I don't want to do that. Or you can send you.
Welcome, Miss Kim. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hi,
Doing
Kim.
good. Doing good.
Krista, long time.
I know. How are you?
That is a good question. Why couldn't he just look it up? Truly, that's what his job is. We can do it any other way. Why would they? Lou Pearlman. Thank you, BC. That's the name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a mess. But this is Britney being arrested for DUI, Kim. Just
yeah, I've been watching.
Okay. I don't know why she's driving. Like, I don't know why she even has to drive at this point. Like,
some of them, listen, I get when you're a star, you're a star. You don't have to do that. But some of them want to be normal and just like live normal lives and do things that they did before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she shouldn't be driving while drinking. If somebody's drinking, she's got a security team, like an entourage. They should have realized and watched that she was drinking. She shouldn't be driving, and they should have stopped her, in my opinion. Just saying.
I know one of my biggest questions with Britney is where is the person in her life that actually gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't she have a long-term security person, a long-term anything?
Yeah.
To I don't know, somebody that she trusts, like, to stop her from like this.
Jamie, her dad, Jamie, wanted just to be able to have control of her life in general, but didn't seem to truly care. And no, they didn't, Lucy. That's the thing. She should have at least had one of her entourage get in the vehicle with her. Nobody, unless she just bolted underneath while they weren't looking. You know what I mean?
And think
which is a possibility.
The things that she puts out on Instagram, right? She doesn't monetize. And
I know.
People told her, like, you are Britney Spears. You like this. You love your fans. Your fans would pay to see you. And not to me. And so that to me bothers me. It's like, who is nobody's advising her to make more? I don't know. Not that she has to make money, but she could.
I feel like she possibly has some mental health issues that need to be medicated. And if she were, that it would slow her down and bring her back down a little bit more towards reality, maybe. And it's just based on what I've seen from her. You know, we scan through YouTube. We all do this. And you'll see these videos she's putting out. And it's like, what are you doing? It just doesn't seem
like her.
Yeah, like she's grounded or something. Hey, Fizzy.
That's exactly what it seems like. She does no. You're right. That's what it seems like. She's not grounded at all.
That's
There's
exactly
a conspiracy about that, though.
I know.
Yeah, there is actually.
You buy any of that, Krista?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just sometimes I don't say it on here because people.
I just wonder if it's really her running that account.
I don't think so. But the thing is,
I don't think so either.
She would make money if it was. I think she would know enough to make money. That's what I think. And she's a good dancer. So what we're seeing is you could do it on OnlyFans. You know, like this is not who she was. This is a shell of a human. And whether it's MK Ultra or it's a clone or something, for your parents and for their families to not care, that's what bothers me. It's like, do they know that it's not them or something? Like, how is it that they're like, I just can't see somebody like Britney Spears now being so left to her own devices like this. She's definitely manic. She's definitely bipolar, I think, definitely.
That's what I think it is. She shows manic depressive like behavior regularly.
If she's doing meth, like they said, she'd calm down. That's the thing. Like,
I don't think this is drugs. I think
like they say she's a drug addict. I'm like, where, what, huh? If she did drugs and meth, she wouldn't be acting like this. In my opinion.
This is mental health. Welcome, Blue-Eyed Butterfly again. Thank you for the super chat. Number one towards our goal today. It says Dago just joining today. I've been wanting to ask why there is no interrogation tape for BK's arrest. That's a great question. We actually talked about that this morning. And we can actually get into that conversation if you'd like to. Blue-Eyed, let's roll through this Britney Spears thing, see what went on here, and we'll see if we can jump into that conversation as well. But thank you again for the super chat. So very generous of you, and God bless. And again, welcome everybody to Throw It Out There Thursday, and that's what we're doing. You throw it out there, we talk about it.
Picture of the insurance. And insurance.
And what?
And insurance.
And insurance too. So this I'll go to my phone so I can show you this copy.
Okay, just wait here for me, okay?
I don't know why he's running this. He knows who she is. But he has to get it in the system. Good point, Brandon. I was actually going to ask that, but I thought maybe that sounded dumb. But you guys notice he doesn't have her on body cam. That's kind of interesting.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm like, nah, that I sound like I'm picking now, like I'm picking at something. But you were
No,
saying
it is true.
it's weird.
Every other stop I've ever seen, you can see the person that's stopped on body cam. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose to avoid putting her out there that way, or if it's for another reason. I don't know. It's weird.
They didn't protect Justin Timberlake. Remember, they
Yeah,
had.
that's true.
I'm not laughing. It's not funny. I'm just funny that like it just seems weird to me. She has drugs in her car. Like that's weird too. Why would somebody have drugs in her car and drive? Like it's just. If Kevin Federline makes a statement, she's going to die if we don't get her help. Dude, that's another thing. Her kids and her ex, they don't even really seem to like want to. They'll sit there. He'll say this all the time, but he doesn't do anything about it.
Right.
He's not. If anybody could push her to maybe get help, it would be the kids and him. But like, I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't trust any of them.
I wouldn't trust him.
True.
I definitely wouldn't trust Kevin Federline after the stuff that they've held.
They took her babies from her. They took her kids from her when they were so young, and that's devastating.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. What could be drugs? That's funny. I want to see what they found. It does say 2023. This is so strange.
So is that when this happened? It does. September 10th.
Yes, it does.
2023. Well, 2:31 in the what the hell?
The fuck? What are they doing? What are they doing? Because
in 23, why is this coming out now?
TMZ put this story out too.
On Crime, TMZ. There's been a few I found.
Let me go. I'm gonna dig real quick while you're at it. So.
Hey, Cass. This is real. 3 years ago, folks. Lenny Moe, good to see you. I'm going to scrub through this. We don't need to watch him write a ticket, so.
TMZ's not even addressing the date either. Something like that the date's not there or something.
Picture of my passport. But this is the girl. She has all my information.
Okay. Can I get your current address?
Okay, here she is. Talk to him right now. He's right here on the phone.
Yeah, I just need her current address. Okay, like her license and stuff and the insurance? Okay, yeah, she needs to carry it. It all needs to be in the vehicle. You know the name of the insurance company at least? Okay, and you don't have her license either? Okay. Yeah, it'll have to be afterwards. You guys can just show it to the court as proof, okay?
This is crazy, y'all. 2023. It says it right there. So I'm real confused because they.
Me too.
The statement I saw put out said it happened last night.
Yep.
Wow. And it said it was at 9 p.m. Very good point, Sleuthy.
And Long Crime put this out like it was the like today, like this was the most recent one. Are they crazy?
Yeah, I believe. I mean, unless I grabbed the wrong one, but
I'm looking too.
This might be the wrong. Hold on. I said that when I looked it up, I went for the most recent arrest. Hold on. This could be my mistake, you guys. If it is, then my apologies. But
you're not the only one that's playing it. I just saw it on the TMZ's live thing that they do.
All right, I'll give you Fox. Fox should be on point. This is a short. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. If I was wrong, my apologies. But
all right, Fox News alert here. It is 5 minutes past the hour. The Princess of Pop has been put in handcuffs. We are now learning brand new details about singer Britney Spears being arrested in California. There are reports it was for driving under the influence, a DUI. It happened last night, we are told, in Ventura, California. Arrest records show authorities released Spears earlier this morning, and that she is set to appear in court on May 4th. Spears was released from her conservatorship back in 2021. And since then, she has largely maintained a lower profile. She's out there on social media a bit, but we are just getting those details in. And as we get more, we will have those for you. All right, Fox News alert here. It is 50 minutes.
Okay.
I knew she was released from that conservatorship. I knew there was something to that. Okay.
Her
I knew.
Sorry. Her Instagram got deleted. Since yesterday.
Maybe they did take it down, and maybe that was an old one, you guys. I'm looking. They probably don't have body cams, so that would be an old one. That was for speeding. That one was, but okay. Here's a 911. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
We can FOIA the body cam, can't we? Since it's just in a like it's not like a case or anything. Can we get it that soon?
Yeah, I can still play that. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it might be an old situation, obviously.
Yeah.
So that nobody gets confused, I'll just explain that. So this is the 911 dispatch audio from last night.
From All Park CD 2252, East on 118 East Yosemite, black sedan, erratic braking, swerving, and driving with no tail light.
483, I copy. I'm in the area eastbound at Cooner. Can you attach my please?
83 in the area. From All Park Units 22103 northbound 101 from Rancho Road, a black BMW sedan, in and out of lanes and near TC's now speeding.
Yeah, that's a different car because she's in a white vehicle in that other video. So,
how does she have no taillights?
What's that, Kim?
How does she have no taillights?
I was thinking that myself. Like they don't seem to take care of her at all. People that work for her don't seem to do shit for her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if she's not in the conservatorship anymore, I mean,
she still has people that work for her, though. I know she has an entourage and a bodyguard, and
like somebody that cares. Like how like when you're some pop stars or stars, they'll have the same security for all those 20 years or something. Like I don't know if who's her
as a manager. She has
about that. If she got herself into that situation where that conservatorship happened, and then everybody around her allowed that.
Yeah,
I don't think she had protection for all that time. So she probably. How do you find people to trust again after that? I don't know.
True. She's probably afraid to have people do that for her because of what happened last time. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody. You can't even trust your own parents.
Yep, I agree. Let's see here.
One time.
7-5 copies. The second unit, you recovered. Go ahead. Detail. I copy. Southbound 101, number 2 and 3 closed, just south of Seaward to north of telephone.
5475, UTL only of Flynn. I'm going to DOL here. just for a moment, just in case there's someone behind me. 2483, if that was for the BOL, I heard it exited at Pleasant Valley. For 5475, I'm UTL 98.
Wow.
I'm kind of finding this hard to believe at this point. Like at the 911 call, I don't even hear. Did you guys hear her name at all?
No, not once. I was going to say that.
Said he, I thought too, like he. I thought they said he was driving or something.
What else do we have here?
I don't trust this.
They're not giving very much information on it. That old one was for speeding. I don't know if that's the one, but they're probably not going to put, if it happened last night, there's probably not much they have on it yet. Let's see.
That's still if she's out drive, I don't know. I get, I mean, you know, I guess she can do whatever she wants. I just feel like.
Okay, so this is an okay, hold on. They're saying DUI arrest that one of her representatives puts this out. So, okay, 1 minute.
Rep speaks out on the pop star's inexcusable DUI arrest. In the hours since the 44-year-old was arrested and subsequently released on suspicion of driving under the influence in California, a representative for Britney is speaking out. Britney's rep says in a statement they share with E! News on March 4th, "This was an unfortunate incident that is completely inexcusable. Britney is going to take the right steps and comply with the law, and hopefully this can be the first step in long overdue change that needs to occur in Britney's life." The statement continues, "Hopefully she can get the help and support she needs during this difficult time." Among those in her corner are her children, 20-year-old Sean Preston and 19-year-old Jaden James, who the singer shares with ex-husband Kevin Federline. The statement notes, her boys are going to be spending time with her. Her loved ones are going to come up with an overdue needed plan to set her up for success for well-being. Britney was arrested shortly after 9 p.m. local time on March 4th in Ventura, California, according to police records viewed by E! News, and was released the following morning. Both TMZ and People reported, citing law enforcement, that the pop star was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. E! News has reached out to California Highway Patrol for comment, but has not yet heard back.
Listen, I was on bit lithium for 20 years for being bipolar. That doesn't make you, the way they talk about, oh, she was on lithium and all this, it's not something that makes you go cuckoo. She just needs some kind of structure or something, like just more structure.
I think go ahead.
Like pot or something. I don't know.
I think she just needs people to be there for her that actually care and that want to like see her successful and not just take advantage of either the money that they put, the money that she's going to pay them, or just the notoriety from working for or being close to her, you know, because that's what people do.
She doesn't need to make any more money either. Like she should. I
don't just need people to support her.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's probably all she really wants, because if she really wanted money, she would monetize her stuff.
I think they did this to her too. And I think this is an attention. Like, I mean, come on, it's a DUI. Like, how many Joe Schmoes get DUIs all the time? And I'm not saying it's okay, but I mean,
yeah.
I think people need to leave her alone.
Yeah.
I think even though she got out of that conservatorship, I think they still probably mess with her.
And she doesn't know where her money is. Her dad took it was $600 million from her. Like,
yeah, I mean, and
don't pay your sister $10,000 a month for fucking what? For fucking what? What do you get $10,000 a month for? That's crazy. Jamie Lynn got $10,000 a month just for being her sister, just out of her money. That would make me crazy. I love my sister and all, but I wouldn't be. I'm sorry. Like, maybe you get to, I don't know.
I think she's numbing her pain. She's had a lot of trauma. I mean, from what happened with her and Justin all the way to being a childhood star, who she is, everything that happened with, like you said, her kids and the conservatorship. And I mean, she's been through a lot. And I think
the way they make work, she worked
huge trauma, like confinement and the power trip and all that stuff during that conservatorship was,
man.
It was a lot. So I say leave her
yeah.
alone. Leave her
And then
alone.
what she went through with her kids and her ex and all that, it's all traumatizing. Real quick, hey, sausage, Christina's in the house. So because of
She's an
that,
amazing singer. She was an amazing singer.
She is.
And she was an amazing like dancer. And just to lose that,
Yeah.
to lose everything, to lose your money to your family and the conservatorships taking it. And, why do you have to pay people to take your money? Or to guard your money or guard your life. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Conservatorship to me isn't you're getting paid to do it. You're just making sure I don't blow my money. I don't know. I'm making sure I don't, kill myself. Like be in the 27 club. I don't know what they're supposed to do, but giving people money out of it, I don't feel is.
I can agree. Real quick, hey Sylvia, I want to say, happy birthday, Miss Christina. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you're having an awesome day. And I got a little message here for you from
yes, Christina,
my friend Ice T here.
You know, I get down every day. I'm straight up G. And there's nobody harder than Ice-T. But for your birthday, I'm gonna show you a side of me that nobody ever sees. Come on. We're taking it from Ice-T.
Mr. Rogers.
All for your big day, Christina.
Hello world is a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
This kills me.
Traveling along, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
You want nice, you gotta go ice.
Hold our love in this world, we'll be bringing. Something always happens whenever we're together. We get a happy feeling when we're singing.
All right, that should do it.
We'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy.
That was awesome.
Let's go, dog.
Those puppies are so cute.
Back to business.
Puppies are cute. The cats are cute too. Cats don't tell the cops where your drugs are.
That was great. Happy birthday, Christina.
Yes, happy birthday, Miss Christina. I try to make everybody's different and special,
That was
but
cute.
that was awesome. I love it. I love Ice-T too. It's hard to believe that man went from the movie Colors to where he's at now. I mean, Jesus.
I forgot about Colors. Oh my gosh.
How could you forget Colors?
I don't know.
That was great. So, yeah. Anyway, back to where we were at. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, but when on Planet Hollywood, Popcorn Planet, when she was going through the conservatorship, he's like, I just want to call her and tell her she can trust me. She can come live with us. If we just have to go get her, I'm like, sure. A bunch of toxic bloggers. She's really going to trust us. We're like, Britney, come live with us. We can trust us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I think I agree with Kim. I think that, like, for the most part, people need to leave her alone. Okay, let her do what she's doing. Stop like attacking her because she's. And granted, yes, I just said it myself. It does seem odd, the videos she puts out where she's dancing in front of the mirrors with the knives and all that. It is odd, yes. Don't get me wrong, but if she's not hurting herself or anybody else, leave her alone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's her. It's her home. She's her own person. Let her be happy if that's what makes her happy. Hey, doc, good to see you, but it's just because she made a mistake, I guess you could call it, or because of the stupid conservatorship, everybody looks at her now like she's doing something wrong, no matter what she's doing. So, and if she did get a DUI, guess what? She's a fucking human being, folks. It happens. People. I mean, I luckily, knock on wood, I never did, but I just never got caught. That's why. You know what I mean? So, I think she needs people to care about her, like I said, and people to kind of look after her, in the background. Like, let her do her thing, but make sure she's not hurting herself or doing things. That's all.
Or driving when she doesn't need to, or wherever she was going. Like, I mean, where's her friends, her best friends? It's just so.
Well, here's the thing. Where's her family? Her
Right.
family turned on her. Okay. I don't know anything about her mother at this point. I haven't seen anything about her sister. I don't know what her father did. So she doesn't have family to lean on like most of us do. Where she doesn't have any friends anymore because of who her friends were for who she is. So who do you trust? Like Kim said earlier, you don't want to trust people when you're in that moment because you think everybody's out to do something to get you, and it's not paranoia. It's real because I'd probably feel the same way if I had to go through that stuff. The Federline tried to screw her, and he did things with her kids, tried to make her look like this horrible person in the book that he wrote, did this, did that, all these things, everything. So
Poisoned the boys against her completely. Made them. They were so mad at her until they. I mean, I guess they're a little older now, but they were so mad at her, and it's like, and she was even telling that. I think at one point we saw text messages where she was like, "I don't even trust you guys. You guys are gonna drug me," and it's like, oh my God, that's her kid, like her babies. When they took them from her, she was horrible.
Yeah. They go, I want puppies and John Bon Jovi for my birthday. Okay. I'll do the best I can, Beach Babe. I promise.
Beach Babe, wait till you see my new T-shirt. I'll show it to you. It'll be.
By the way, Cassie's working on a new T-shirt in our shop. By the way, guys, it's going to be special too. On the front of it, it just says That's it. So make sure you get you one once you put it together. It just says UMM. We all know where that comes from, Miss Mortensen. So we got pretty much T-shirts. We got the T-shirt coming together. So make sure you get you guys one when it's there. Yeah, I will work on that for you, Beach Babe.
She's so healed after 3 days, Miss Dylan. She's so yeah, and then this happened, and it's like, oh, well, you sound wonderful. Healed.
Yeah, she's a mess. So what else we got going on out there, guys? Throw something else out there. Let me know what you guys got that you want to talk about.
What was that super chat earlier? It was about the with Kohlberger.
Yeah.
What was that question? The interrogation video. Why don't we have it? According to the police, they did not record it. No body cams, right?
In Pennsylvania, yeah, right. And then there was the only thing we got that I remember seeing was the report that we read. Again, thank you, Blue Eyed, for that. That stated about the interview. That was it. There's never been like a video. Why? Anybody?
Not even the raid or whatever they did. You tell me
there were no body cams for the raid that they claimed, but why was there nothing in Latah County? Like, I'm sure when they brought him back here, they re-questioned him here, I would imagine.
But I thought Payne and who else? Payne and somebody else went out to Pennsylvania and did an interview out there, right?
I thought it was Gilbertson, yeah.
Remember me?
What did you say we do have? We don't have the video, but what do we have?
We have a report. I don't know if it was ISP or if it was the Moscow PD reports where they described the interview and written report of the interview, but that was it. Devil's advocates in the house. Which one do we have in here? Is this one of the moderators or is this Lee? Whoever you are, welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, there was no I can't remember if it was Moscow or ISP's docs where they described the interview in a report. That was it. That's all we got. But why is there a recorded audio and video interview for everything else? But there's not one for the actual suspect and the person they have convicted sitting in prison. That makes no sense to me.
And then we have his getting pulled over. His little, I don't have a seatbelt on. We have that body cam of that, but they turn it off when they go to his house.
Yep.
I think that's one of the issues when, we're looking for all the things in this case that could go towards the appeals or whatever. We were looking at all the issues. Something came up about the self-authenticating records. And I looked that up and now I forget. Like, what does that mean when it's self? It means
that they don't need to be.
Oh, because they're supposed to have evidence for it. But I think the issue isn't there some that don't? Like they're supposed to have the evidence that goes with it, right?
I think so. I think that's how that works. Yeah.
But then there's some like that, like an interview with no video, or like the Amazon saying that he bought a knife sheath but not having the receipt.
Right? Do we have a receipt for his beanie? That was supposedly going to be. It was supposed to be. What did they say it was, like a outfit or something that he wore? A beanie.
Yeah, they tried to make it out to be some jumpsuit or some shit, and all it was a hat. Right.
But I think that's an issue.
Oh, just one of them. It's one of the 99 problems we have here. You know, it's like.
Is this there is a video that News Nation put out, but it doesn't make sense. It's a former woman. Oh no, that's no. Nope, that's not the right thing.
Didn't they say we'll never see it? They told us we'll never get it. It's like
the only things I can. This is different, but these aren't creepy though. Like everything that this man has said or done, they've tried to criminalize him with it. 9 creepy things that Brian Kohlberger said in eerie interrogation by Law and Crime. Really?
He probably asked what he was asking the normal questions, like, did you arrest other people? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're looking at me? Why did you arrest anybody else? I would ask that question, because to me it seems like more than one person would do this crime. You know, I don't know why they thought they were looking for one person, because it didn't seem like one person did this. I mean, to me, if you're an investigator, we saw what they saw. Well, kind of see what they saw. So
they know this was more than one person, guys.
Right. It's like, why he would ask that question, because that would be like, what, me? What are you talking about? Why do you have? And then didn't they say, remember me? And Payne say, don't you remember me? Or something like that.
No, Brian says, you look familiar to me. And he was like, oh, I don't know why. So,
because you pulled him over? He pulled him over?
I wonder what that is all about there. Let me see something here, you guys.
Because he's a little, I can't stand those little.
If nothing else, we can react to this and tear these people apart for more of their propaganda bullshit. So let's see here real quick. And again, this is through Law and Crime Scandal. That's one of their special episodes that they run.
Inside look now. Inside convicted killer Brian Kohlberger's first ever talk with police. Kohlberger admitted he.
I'm going to let this play and I have to run. So I'll be right back. So if you need me, as soon as I get back, let me know. I'll back up or stop or whatever. So I'll be right back.
Watched the news coverage of the Idaho 4 murders. He described a fascination with criminology, demanded answers from detectives, and even asked for his mom. We're breaking down the 9 most eerie revelations from convicted killer Brian Kohlberger's first conversation with police. This is Scandal, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sierra Gillespie. Before I get into today's story, I want to make a quick announcement. Law and Crime needs your help. We want to create something new for our viewers, something that you'll love and enjoy. We want to make sure that what we create is based on your opinion and your voice. So we've created a short survey to get your feedback, and we'll be selecting 10 people at random who took the survey to get a free Law and Crime t-shirt. If you want your voice to be heard, please check out the survey and let us know your thoughts. The link is in the description and pinned comment. All right, back to the story. Today, we're talking about convicted killer Brian Kohlberger's very first conversation with police. And we're learning new details about what exactly happened after Kohlberger's arrest nearly 3 years ago. When Brian Kohlberger first spoke to police, he confirmed he knew about the University of Idaho quadruple murders. He commented on his arrest and even asked detectives what they knew and what questions they wanted to ask him. All these details are coming out now because of Kohlberger's recent conviction in the quadruple murder that shocked the nation. On November 13th, 2022, the bodies of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were found at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, not far from the University of Idaho campus. The details of the murders are shocking. Some of them were so brutally attacked that they were unrecognizable when police found them. For those of you who've been following the case from the very beginning, There wasn't an arrest for weeks. There were updates, though. Investigators released the now infamous sketch of the suspect. They released photos of a white Hyundai Elantra they believed was connected to the case, and they made small updates to their YouTube channel like this one.
Well, this investigation is not cold. We get tips every day that are viable. We get dozens and dozens of tips. We sort through them, we prioritize them. Eventually, we're going to narrow in on exactly what happened and who did it.
It was a shock then when police finally made an arrest on the other side of the country. The suspect, a man named Brian Kohlberger, a student at Washington State University, just a short drive from the University of Idaho and the crime scene. But Kohlberger wasn't arrested in Washington State or even Idaho. Instead, he was arrested in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, an unincorporated community in the Pocono Mountains. Kohlberger, it turned out, was from the Keystone State, but he was studying at Washington State University. He was back home for winter break when he was arrested on December 30th, 2022. And here's where that new information comes in. After Kohlberger's conviction and sentencing on July 23rd, hundreds of documents were released from the investigation, including this one. Now, it's written from the perspective of Moscow police detective Brett Payne, who made his way to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania on December 29th, 2022, just one day ahead of Kohlberger's arrest. And here's straight from the court docs, quote, "After several coordination meetings, Detective Gilbertson, S.A. Shirley, and I drove to the Pennsylvania State Police Barracks at Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, to await the arrival of Kohlberger after his arrest and to interview him upon his arrival." Remember that name, Detective Gilbertson, because it's going to come up a lot in this interview. Now, after investigators were ready to go, the warrant had been executed at the Kohlberger's home. Brian Kohlberger was arrested. Then the interview began. At approximately 0200 hours on December 30th, 2022, Kohlberger was brought to the PSP Stroudsburg Barracks and placed in an interview room. The interview was recorded on the built-in video system at the barracks, as well as Detective Gilbertson's pocket recorder. I have to pause really quick to thank Odoo for sponsoring this story.
So where's that recording then? And why can't we see that? That's what makes no sense to me.
They make it sound so nefarious. They went to PA and there's first interview, 9 things that are so crazy. He asked for his mom. Like, what?
Right.
Investigators. Right away, he said something kind of bizarre. When I stated who I was, Kohlberger stated, "You do look familiar," meaning Brian Kohlberger already recognized Detective Payne. More on that later. Before the interview even began, Detective Gilbertson read Kohlberger his Miranda rights advisement. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he understood his rights, to which he replied he did. And then the questions started. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger about the SWAT operation at the house, to which Kohlberger replied he was concerned about his parents and his dog. After that, conversation switched to small talk, specifically Kohlberger's education and his field of study. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he was going to Washington State University, to which he replied he was. We made small talk with Kohlberger about sports for some time. Kohlberger stated he didn't follow WSU football much, but was a baseball fan. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he had only been at WSU for one semester. Kohlberger confirmed this and said he came to WSU with his father on July 1st. Kohlberger then went on to say he was a first-year PhD student in criminal justice and criminology. Detective Gilbertson asked
You guys, I've always wondered if the statement that you do look familiar, if he recognizes him for a different reason, guys. If it relates to the reason why Brian Kohlberger's in this situation to begin with, it makes me wonder. That's all I'm saying.
Payne pull him over? Wasn't Payne one of the ones that pulled him over or something?
No.
No? Okay.
Not that I know of.
I thought that's why he asked him that, but
just makes me wonder. That's all I'm saying.
Right?
Kohlberger what the process was to apply for a PhD. Kohlberger stated he applied to 2 places, UC Irvine and WSU. Kohlberger said he was going to graduate with his master's in criminal justice from DeSales and was inspired. Kohlberger then asked if it was okay to engage in small talk like we were, to which we replied it was. After briefly mentioning he was strengthened by the fact his mother and father were okay, Kohlberger said he applied to the two aforementioned schools because they did not require the GRE exam. Kohlberger then spoke about the GRE for a brief time and then said he was accepted by WSU. Detective Gilbertson then asked Kohlberger what led him down the road of becoming a professor. Kohlberger stated it was because he loved being in college and stated knowledge was far more important to him than money. Kohlberger added WSU had a good program to study under, and then said, "You guys know all about this more than likely." Before going on and reading more court docs, I want to pause here and note, it was Kohlberger himself who brought up the University of Idaho. Kohlberger then asked questions about University of Idaho and other Idaho universities before stating he didn't know much about Idaho or Washington and had not left the tri-state area much. Kohlberger then returned to speaking about his focus on learning and how he thought he could obtain a doctorate degree.
The only way we know about a Penny is because of the report that they're taking this information from the report. I remember reading this. I think it was a Moscow PD report. So that's the only way we know about their interaction, truly, because they never released anything else. And it's very sad. Everybody else has a video out there of an interview, except for the suspect, which is stupid to me.
So from here, the conversation switches back to Kohlberger's education in Pennsylvania. He studied at both DeSales University and Northampton Community College before he ever moved out west. So investigators asked about all of that and Kohlberger's fascination with crime. Detective Gilbertson then asked Kohlberger about his time at DeSales University. Kohlberger spoke for some time about his time at Northampton Community College and DeSales. Kohlberger then spoke about how he became interested in criminal justice and stated he thought about being a police officer, but did not want to make that commitment unless he was absolutely sure. Kohlberger then continued to speak about his education and universities. Kohlberger also spoke more about the process to get into a PhD program and how competitive it can be. And then the topic switched to Kohlberger's study at Washington State University. Detective Gilbertson then asked Kohlberger about his move to Washington. Kohlberger said he drove across country and wanted the challenge of driving across country and experiencing it with his father. Kohlberger then said he took a different route back home with his father for Christmas break to avoid snow. Kohlberger spoke about his travels and the risks of such travels in winter. Kohlberger then began to speak about the beauty of the environment and its relationship to God and a higher power. We spoke about this for some time, and Kohlberger said he was raised Christian, but was always a skeptic, except when confronted with the beauty of the natural world. Detective
Yeah, that's the one right there. Thank you, Blue Devil. MPD report number 194, guys, if you want to go pull it and look at it.
Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he had ever been to the Pacific Northwest prior to coming to WSU, and Kohlberger said he had not. Kohlberger told investigators he worked as a TA at school and was also involved in the Pullman Police Department back in Washington. But after this, the small talk stopped. Kohlberger made a demand. Kohlberger then stated he understood why we were engaging in small talk, but would appreciate it if we explained to him what we were doing there. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger why he thought we were there. He said he wanted Detective Gilbertson to tell him. Detective Gilbertson said we were there because of what occurred in Moscow, but did not provide any further detail. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he watched the news. Kohlberger said, "I watched the news." Detective Gilbertson then asked Kohlberger why he thought I looked familiar. Kohlberger said he wasn't sure and stated I had a familiar face and looked like someone he used to know. Detective Gilbertson then said we were there because of what happened in November, just off the University of Idaho campus. Detective Gilbertson asked Kohlberger if he knew what that was, to which Kohlberger replied, "Of course." When prompted to elaborate, Kohlberger said it was the incident we had been investigating for, how long has it been? Kohlberger said there were probably several incidents and then said he was aware of a homicide because of a WSU alert he received. Detective Gilbertson asked when Kohlberger received the alert. Kohlberger said he wasn't sure, but thought it was sometime the previous month. And it was around this point that Kohlberger actually asked for an attorney. Detective Gilbertson confirmed that was why we were there and asked if Kohlberger wanted to talk about that. Kohlberger replied, "Well, I think I would need a lawyer." Kohlberger then asked if we would explain to him what we were there for specifically and added he was tired. Detective Gilbertson again stated we were investigating the homicides of the 4 students and that we had questions and things we hoped Kohlberger would help us understand. Kohlberger sat back and said he had the utmost respect for law enforcement, but stated it was a constitutional right to speak to an attorney. Detective Gilbertson affirmed this. So Kohlberger wants an attorney and the questioning stops, right? Well, not so fast. Kohlberger then re-engaged and said the only thing he heard from Moscow was an alert that came to his phone. Kohlberger then said he wanted to talk to an attorney. Detective Gilbertson said we would stop now because Kohlberger wanted to speak to an attorney. Kohlberger then asked where his parents were and where his dog was. Kohlberger re-engaged again and asked what questions we would have for him. Detective Gilbertson then asked Kohlberger again if he understood his rights and asked specifically what Kohlberger wished. Kohlberger asked what specifically we wanted to talk to him about and the reason. I told Kohlberger he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights and we were not going to ask him any further questions. Kohlberger asked again for the reason he was there, but added he would like to talk to an attorney. At this point, we concluded our interview with Kohlberger and left the room. So we broke down all the court documents, but now I will read in between the lines and get some more information. So for that, we're going to turn to today's expert guest, retired NYPD Detective Tom Smith. Tom, I want to start kind of at the end of the interview because this is what's most intriguing to me. Brian Kohlberger basically says, I have my constitutional right to have a lawyer. I want to lawyer up. But then he kind of backtracks and is like, wait, what do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? What's going on? So he says he wants a lawyer, but then he wants info too. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, that's actually classic. It's called leaking, which when you have the inability to keep something inside you, and when you are dealing with people like this, school shooters, mass murderers, whatever it might be, they have an inability to just keep it all inside them. So they have to let little pieces out as sort of a relief. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's actually propping himself.
This guy out of his mind.
He's completely full of shit. This is bullshit.
Oh my God.
Sorry for my language, but
me too.
I think Brian was trying to get them to say, like, we're suspecting you, or
like, why
say that? And shouldn't they have said that? Like, did the word you're under arrest ever come out of their mouth?
We have you. We're here to question you as a suspect to this crime, Brian. That's what they should have said to him.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely shocked.
This guy's an idiot. What an idiot. He's leaking because no, he's not. He didn't say anything about having anything to do with this crime for anything. The guy's 1, autistic, 2, very realistic, okay? And 3, he wants to know what the hell he's doing there. Period. He has that right. Wow.
And we saw the interviews they did with the other witnesses and surviving victims and how horrible they were. Like, can you imagine what this was like? It probably wasn't done right. Like, this could be like a process violation or something.
We know from his
there's
paper,
no evidence of it.
and we know from his papers he's not a dummy. Like, he's really smart. He knew he knew everything. He knew. And who is not going to ask for a lawyer when you're trying to tell me you're asking me about a quadruple homicide, and you don't think? And it's crazy that I asked for a lawyer. I mean, of all people to ask for a lawyer, he's the one that should be asking for a lawyer. Like, anybody that's in this position, arrested or is being interrogated, should ask for a lawyer. But he also should know, like, if they read him they Mirandize him, they can still ask him questions. He could stop the interview. But I would want to know too. What you can still ask me questions. I don't have to answer.
Yeah. Real quick, to answer Kim called Carlton. It says, I've been looking into the Noah Presgrove case, waiting for an interview with his father. I'm not doing an interview with Noah's father. I'm doing a Noah. I will be at some point when he feels better, doing an interview with Austin Dawson's father, the Adam Dawson, the boy, the 26-year-old young man that got into a fight on the Idaho University campus after delivering food. And they beat him to the point where he died in the ambulance on the way there and had to be put in a coma. And that's who I'm going to be interviewing. I did cover the Noah Presgrove case, though, pretty deeply for a good period of time. But I never was able to get in touch with anybody to get any interviews with them. I mean, maybe now I could, but then no. Maybe you just misunderstood what I was saying. Welcome, Lisa. Good to see you. And Meanie. Chickadee, good to see you guys all. Angie B, thank you guys for joining us. But yeah, anyway, sorry to interrupt this. I just wanted to answer that question so nobody was confused.
I want to go back to the point about requesting a lawyer, because this is the instance when you should be requesting a lawyer. When your house is swatted in the middle of the night and they're suspecting you of a crime, you lawyer up.
Yeah.
Not when you survived a quadruple homicide and you're viewed as a witness and you're just there to answer questions to help in the investigation. That doesn't require lawyering up, but they did, and nobody questioned that.
Right.
Well, here's my thing, you guys, and I want both of your opinion, everybody's opinion on this, because this is my theory on this, okay? I feel like they're not releasing a video interview because it's different than what this report says. I think there's something in there said that they don't want us to see. I think there's something in there for us to see besides maybe a physical thing, maybe something he said, something that went down that they don't want us to see because it will take us away from, or it'll take people away from the narrative they're running. Sorry.
What if he said more than you look familiar? What if he said how he knows him?
That's exactly what I was wondering, Kim.
I think he outsmarted them. I think that he's not an idiot. I think that he denied everything. And I don't think they want us to see that. They want us to see a crazy person. They want us to think that he's all this, that he's this person, he's that person. They don't want us to see that he's sitting there perfectly normal, asking perfectly normal questions. When you're accusing me of a quadruple homicide, of course I'm going to ask for a lawyer. But the fact that I would definitely
no problem, Kim.
All those questions. I'd be worried about my parents and my dog. That'd be my friend. You swatted my house and you think I'm a murderer. Of course I'm going to ask about my parents and my dog. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, there's something in that video they do not want us to see, you guys. Otherwise, why? There's no other reason. Everything else has been released. What would you possibly need? Guys, we've seen interrogation videos on just about every suspect we've ever covered.
Mm-hmm.
Why not this one? We saw Richard Allen. We saw Karen Reed. We've seen all sorts of other cases, guys. Old cases, cold cases. Richard Ramirez. Ted Bundy, all sorts of shit. Why not Brian Kohlberger? Because there's something there that would change everybody's mind, in my opinion, towards the narrative that they have produced.
Yep.
That's
Can
my
we talk
opinion.
about the lawyering up thing for a minute? Because I understand where the thought of, you're crazy if you don't lawyer up and all that. Like, I get it. But did Hunter Johnson lawyer up? Did Jack Decor lawyer up? Did Jenna McClure lawyer up? Did oh God, who's the other girl that came over? Who's Hunter's? Emily. Did Emily lawyer up?
Emily Onspot. Yeah.
Come on. No, it's because they were just questioning them about what happened.
Because I think they knew
they weren't suspects.
Yeah, and that's a big deal right there, what you just said, Blue Eye. Thank you again for this second super chat. And let me check something, guys. Just a quick second here. It is wrong one. What the hell's going on here?
I think because they ran those other interviews, they were leading in those interviews, and they were probably, who knows if we even saw everything they said back and forth to the interviews with all the witnesses, suspects, whatever. And Brian is not dumb. He's a criminologist. I think that he's not going to sit there and let them run or whatever. You know how they are in interrogations. I mean, they approach him after they think he suspected. They approach his car when they feed him over speeding, like, hey, sir, like. He didn't do this.
That's my point, Lucy. Jack Decor and Jack Showalter were suspects, so they should lawyer up.
Oh yeah, they were.
They should. Yeah, they should. And
people of interest, however you want to word it.
Yeah, there were no scratches, bumps, bruises, marks, blemishes, hairs out of place. Brian Kohlberger took that infamous thumbs up picture the next morning, and not one mark was on his body. He went to Costco. There was no marks on his body that we could see. He went to the doctor. The doctor didn't report anything. He went to
a haircut.
They didn't report anything. He went back to work. Nobody reported anything except Somebody reported a little red mark on his knuckle because he overwashed his hands. But okay. There was nothing ever fucking reported. No, guys. If this man took this photograph at 10 a.m. the next morning, it's bullshit. I'm sorry, but no.
The person cutting his hair would surely see a mark on his head or his face. You know what I mean?
And the only time I ever saw anything, there was no marks on the man when he drove home to Pennsylvania. Okay, when he was first appeared in court, he had scratches here. Guess why? Because the razors they give you in jail have one blade and they suck. And that's exactly what that was. Razor burn, folks. Nothing more, nothing less. So anybody that's trying to say that Brian was all cut up and all beat up. Oh, no, he wasn't, guys. He had a scratch on his knuckle that we could see because he washed his hands till they were raw. I do the same thing, guys. When I get sick, I don't do it regularly. When I get sick, I become paranoid, okay? Or when somebody in my house gets sick, I become paranoid and I wash my hands and sanitize them like I'm insane until they become bloody and raw. I'm still healing from the last time I was sick, right here. It's a thing, folks. OCD's real. Autism's real. ADHD's real. All of this shit's real, okay? Whether people want to believe it or not, this man, none of this is what they're saying it is. So anyway, I'm sorry.
I agree.
Going back to what you were saying, Kim, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to make a point too. I heard some expert talking about with the amount of stabs that there were that night, the person's hand would be swollen.
Absolutely.
Like they said. And we saw his hand the very next morning, like hours later.
Yes, this right here.
Yeah.
Would have on either hand would have been swollen. His fingers would have been swollen because every time your hand comes down on that part, guys, it 100 and some odd times. Come on, it's metal against skin.
Yeah. The force that would take.
And I still don't believe.
Because they're saying one person did that 100 and some times.
I don't believe it was a K-bar that was the weapon. It could have been one of the. This is what I believe the weapon is, you guys. This here, okay? This is something that exactly describes what most of these weapons were or the wounds are and injuries. That I just found this the other day again.
Is that more like a machete?
This is a machete, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks
one
like
end is serrated.
like the guy thing that that guy was making. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
this
looks
is
like a
exactly. This is what I think was used. Okay, I thought this from day one.
Oh.
Yep.
And let's be honest, Ethan's a big dude. He wasn't little 17-year-old Ethan that they like to show us in his pictures. He was big, and there's no way he wasn't fighting. Like they were all fighting. So I'm pretty sure 4 people could take one person. You know, not 4, but there's 6 people, there's 3 floors, there's 4 bodies, and 7 minutes does not equal 1 person. It just doesn't.
Now, and this would explain why Vanna's fingers were the way they were, trying to go like this, maybe, and somebody swinging something at you. This would explain. You don't have to be close up to somebody to harm somebody with a weapon like this either. You understand that? You can have a distance between you and still do it. I've always thought this was one of the weapons. And absolutely. And we know that they've had them. There's many, many photographs of them with machetes and large knives and things like this all throughout this campus, guys. So just remember that. That's all I'm saying. Sorry.
Yep.
Hey, Firebox. Anything else, Kim, to add to what you were saying?
No, I know some people disagree, and it's hard to narrow down about the lawyering up thing because I get it. Like, it's always for protection. And I just feel with Bethany and Dylan lawyering the way they did, it's just weird. Like, you're just there to provide information. They weren't questioning them in any kind of a way that was making them seem like, anything other than victims, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Kim. Think about it. Like, they're the ones, like, the only witness is Dylan. She's the only witness that saw a suspect, right? And it's like almost like they all knew they weren't in trouble. It's like they all were in on the big joke except for Brian. It's like they all knew that they weren't going to get in trouble because the shit that Dylan and Bethany say is wild. to me. Like, I don't even know who in the right mind could actually go to sleep, which we know they didn't, after they admit to seeing a murderous man in the house. And we know what happened in that house. It wasn't quiet. So it's wild to me that you think it's okay that you don't need. I mean, I don't know. And then poor Brian's getting accused of it. He's the one to have the lawyer. Absolutely, I think you should have a lawyer. Like,
And I believe you. I agree with you, Lisa. I have OCD as well. I've been full-fledged diagnosed with I have ADHD, ODD, OCD, and PTSD. So I have all those things, folks. The OCD is very bad. Okay. So I do those kinds of things. I understand Brian in that aspect, truly. So, but yeah, even as somebody that works in the healthcare field, yes, a lot of people, my wife included, my wife is constantly using moisturizers because she uses gloves. She's a phlebotomist and a dialysis tech. Okay. Her hands turn into like alligator skin. So she's constantly washing her hands and sanitizing and then moisturizing and all of it, guys. So yes, that's a true point, Lisa, and a very good point.
My ex had it so bad. He counted his shirts every day before he left for work, and he would count. He would do the thing with doorknob. He would turn it a certain amount of times. Like we were late to a wedding one time because of that. Like I had to deal with it. Like I heard him count. It was crazy. He would start counting his shirts, and he had the hand washing thing, and all of our buttons, like all the dials in the house. He was always turning them to check them all the time, and it was shame because he couldn't help it, and I knew he couldn't help it.
I can't either. Everything like on my coffee table, everything has to be synchronized and set just a certain type of way. The remotes have to be a certain type of way. We keep our extra shoes sometimes like on our stairwell, and they have to be facing the same direction, square, side by side, perfectly set. I'm that type of person, folks.
Like, he would know if I drank something during the day, and even if I washed the cup and put it away, he knew that I did that. He'd ask me what I had to drink. He would know. It's crazy. He knew if I clean the house.
The real thing. Some people have it way worse than others, but mine's functional. I can deal with mine. I'm super clean and very super organized, except in this mess. I don't organize this, but everything else around me is organized.
I feel bad. I would yell 81. There's 81 shirts, Aunt, 81. And I feel bad doing it, but like he would get mad at me. He got cancer, so he had testicular cancer. It didn't happen. He didn't get all that OCD and stuff till after that, and they said it was a symptom or side effect of
mine. Mine started showing up when I had brain surgery. I didn't know I had it until after that, but yeah, that's when it started getting real bad. My handwriting, okay, that's why I go through notebooks so fast, because if I write stuff, I rewrite it again and again and again until it looks perfect to me. Then I'll get rid of it. That's why everybody tells me I have like women's handwriting because it's super perfect because I do that. So it's just a thing. Anyway. Hey, Ass Tactic, good to see you. But anyway, on we go. But no, I feel like I can agree with you with what you said, Kim, to some aspect. Some sides I get, or some situations I get, but some I don't. You know what I mean? So I do agree with you like 50-50 on that.
This case is the upside down universe. Everything is the opposite of what it should be. The people's actions, everything. You
need some OCG. I got you guys. I get it. But yeah,
you can have my mannequin. I get up at 3:45 in the morning just so I can clean my house before I get ready for my show. You can totally have my OCD and all of it. I don't think mine's OCD. I think it's part of my ADHD that makes me feel like I have to have the house clean before.
That's how my ADHD plays into the
bad. It's so bad.
So
it's actually bad.
Go ahead.
Let me use Richard Allen as an example for the lawyering up. Okay, he was an innocent guy at for right off, and he's like, "Oh, they're asking for people who are out there to come in. Let me go in and let them know that I was out, around the bridge area that day." So he goes in completely innocently, but during the course of that, the questioning starts. If that questioning starts turning suspiciously, that's when I would be like, okay, that's the time. Stop, lawyer up. And he didn't even do that. So I think that was a mistake on his part. So like, that's an example of somebody who could have been an innocent witness that didn't need to lawyer up, as the other people, like the teenage girls that were out there on the trail, the woman walking that was out on the trail, like they didn't need to get lawyers. They went in to share their information.
Right.
But when the questioning turns towards we're looking at you or we're suspicious of you, then you're like, okay, this is enough. I need a lawyer. And that's what I'm saying is the difference between
I agree.
Bethany and Dylan and Jack Decor, Jack Showalter, Brian Kohlberger, anybody that they looked at as a suspect.
And I think another way to say it is, we got the bomb play. Another way to say it too is somebody that feels guilty. Okay. Somebody that knows they're guilty. They automatically do it. Even if you get called in for questioning on a grocery store robbery. Okay. And you know you didn't do this. Just like Richard Allen, he didn't think he needed an attorney. He said that right out of the gate, okay? Because he knows he didn't do this, is what he said. So somebody robs a grocery store. They get called in for questioning. They didn't do it. They know they didn't do it. They're not going to ask for an attorney, in my opinion. They shouldn't, because you didn't do anything. You don't need one, okay? Somebody that did do it, and I think this is kind of what Kim's saying is, somebody that did do it, somebody that knows they did it, is automatically going to ask for an attorney because they know their own guilt. End of story. So that's what I that's kind of how I took what you're saying. And
no, and kind of not, because if you're innocent in that grocery store robbery example you're giving, and they're calling you in because they're suspicious of you, I think you need a lawyer. And I'm seeing comments in the chat like never talk to cops, never, always get a lawyer. I mean, you're never going to give information. Like if you know information about a crime, you're never going to volunteer. You're not going to try to help find the person who did it. Like, come on. I don't think it's black and white. I think it's gray, but I think there's a turning point where as soon as you think they're looking at you as more of a suspect, then it's time to lawyer up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I kind of had it backwards, what I was trying to say. Because I'm reading chat and I'm listening to you at the same. So
they still disagree with me. That's okay.
And it's all right, guys. We don't always have to. Hey, Donnie, we don't always have to agree either. But no, I would definitely talk to the police if I had. Listen, if I had no guilt in something, anything at all. Okay, and I had nothing that I had done. I watched the car accident happen, and I watched the guy. It was a hit and run. Okay, and the guy hits a car and takes off. And I watched it. I'm going to tell them what I saw. Of course, I'm going to help in that investigation. I know because of what we do. I know this because I see this every single day. There are people that do not trust the police, period. And I can't be that person. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's your right. I respect that fully. There are people that do not want to trust the police because of this situation per se, for sure. But not everybody is that way, guys. Not every situation is that way.
Well, his books and his papers, he knew that innocent people get charged and put in. He wrote research papers on it, so he knew that this happened. Like that, guilty people go free and innocent people get put in prison and charged. And they were his papers, and it was his. And they all had the same books. I know the book. They had to have those books for his classes and all, but he knew exactly what. And that's why I like when they say that she was such a horrible, lawyer. But I think he was working right along with her. He was doing the work with her.
I think what I see, what her people are saying, I'm excited, by the way. My wife just made me a homemade stromboli. I don't even know what to say right now. So people are saying if you're at a crime scene, you definitely should get a lawyer and I think I understand what you guys are saying because of what we've seen in this case. People should get a lawyer because innocent people get accused and convicted all the time. I understand. I do. But I think this case has caused people to fear life in general, folks. And I understand why, because look what's happened. Okay. Same with Richard Allen. I get it, but we can't go through our lives like that. We can't live our life that way, in my opinion, because it causes way more stress for one. But I respect your guys' feelings on it. I fully understand. But guys, I couldn't be that person.
It's also not free. It's expensive to hire a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer on standby. And I'm just saying that there's time to me before that.
Yeah.
You could control what you say. You can control what you're willing to answer and not answer. And
Sure.
if it's just providing information that you know to help, I just feel like
he doesn't know anything though. Think about it. He doesn't know.
Yeah, and this makes sense too.
No, he doesn't know anything, but he knew that I feel like he did it right. I feel like he engaged in the banter, but as soon as it came to we're suspecting you, and he was very smart, I feel, saying, I want you to tell me why you did this to me.
Sure.
Instead of him saying it. Like, that was super smart of him.
Right. Exactly.
To do that. And as soon as it got to that point where he knew, oh, they're looking at me, I need a lawyer. And I'm saying, I think that's the way to do it.
And that makes sense. That's a good point, Kim. That is exactly a good way to put it. And nothing half-assed makes a good point too. With respect, if you experience something bad with law enforcement, you are going to realize that you must protect yourself and they aren't protecting you. Now, that is true because I know a lot of people that have had negative experiences with law enforcement, and they're like, no, I ain't talking to them because I know what happened to me the last time I did it. So no, I'm not. And I respect that. I do. I get that. I just feel like, oh, guys, I'm kind of in the middle with this. Seriously, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm torn on this because I can't tell you how I would react because it's not happening right now. I can tell you how I would want to react, but at the same time, we don't know until it happens. So
listen, I'd be saying a lot more than him. If you told me you swatted my house, you think you're suspecting me.
Thank you, Meg.
I asked for a lawyer, but then I'd say, I think you're all fucking nuts. You're crazy, and I'm not talking to you crazy people. You're accusing me of something that I was watching the stars. That's what I was doing. Taking pictures of a meteor shower that was happening that night that he was interested in. Like, he knows nothing about that. There's nothing. He wasn't even there. Like, what are you talking? I don't know what he could possibly have to give them information. If it was like me at Dylan or Bethany, yeah, you have information. They were there. They're witnesses. Brian doesn't know a goddamn thing. He's like, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I was not there. I have nothing to tell you. And I think I need a lawyer at that point. Because what are you going to say? You don't know. There's nothing to talk about. I didn't do it. I wasn't there. And you got the wrong guy. So give me a lawyer because you're accusing me. And think about it. He never went home.
Right.
Poor guy never went home. He probably had no idea that was going to happen to him.
Why did BK lawyer up and kept his mouth shut? Is he guilty because he exercised his right? No, I don't think so. I think he did what he did because he knows how the law works, and he just did papers on it, you guys. He had just done papers in his classes about it. So, like I said, hey, James, good to see you, brother. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one, you guys. Truly, I respect what Kim thinks and feels, and I understand it, as do I respect and understand some of what you guys are saying. It does make sense, but again, I can't tell you how I would actually truly react in that situation unless it happened, and that unfortunately or fortunately has not happened, and hopefully it doesn't for any of us. So
I would be so upset. I don't know because I'd feel like I would be like, no, this is crazy. They're going to find out, obviously really quickly. I didn't do this because I didn't. I don't know if I'd be scared and crying and upset, but then I'd be like, well, I didn't do this. So I'm like, why they can't possibly put me in prison for this, but they did, like. He obviously he knew. I mean, he was smart. There's no way, because think about it. He hasn't even said a word, and they're telling us what he's this guy, he's that guy, he's a. It's like they've made up a narrative about him because he's not giving them anything, and thank God he never did. Because who knows? Like, the poor guy takes a selfie, and they're like, "Look at us, he's a psycho. The guy's a psycho. He went to Costco." It's like, okay, so did thousands of other people. Right.
Anything else to add, Kim, before I go forward on this some more? No? Okay. On we go.
But Kim, we're in the upside down universe.
So I told Kohlberger he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights, and we were not going to ask him any further questions. Kohlberger asked again for the reason he was there, but added he would like to talk to an attorney. At this point, we concluded our interview with Kohlberger and left the room. So we broke down all the court documents, but now I will read in between the lines and get some more information. So for that, we're going to turn to today's expert guest, retired NYPD detective Tom Smith. Tom, I want to start kind of at the end.
I'm going to forewarn you guys before, especially those of you that just came in here. Tom is an idiot. Okay. So just be prepared. He's already made one really dumb statement. It was the only thing he ever said so far. So just be prepared.
Of the interview, because this is what's most intriguing to me. Brian Kohlberger basically says, I have my constitutional right to have a lawyer. I want to lawyer up. But then he kind of backtracks and is like, wait, what do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? What's going on? So he says he wants a lawyer, but then he wants info too. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, that's actually classic. It's called leaking, which when you have the inability to keep something inside you, and when you are dealing with people like this, school shooters, mass murderers, whatever it might be, they have an inability to just keep it all inside them. So they have to let little pieces out as sort of a relief. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Okay, so on that, there's Tom's dumb statement, because it's stupid to say that, in my opinion. I'm sorry. That has no bearing on my opinion as to why he's doing it. The man is Brian's asking questions because he wants to know what the hell's going on. He's not leaking anything, okay? But this is what people that believe that this man's guilty do. They find anything they can find to make him look guilty, and they explain it that way so that it makes sense to people. And unfortunately, Tom is an idiot, and it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. So, sneaky leakers.
Actually propping himself up to that serial killer kind of mentality of, if they don't know who I am, I'm not famous. Sort of like, and that's the way he's going, and that's the road he's going down of, yeah, I need to be quiet, but what do you know about this? And what do you want to ask me? He can't help himself because that's what they are, and that's how they're built. And that was a classic, just leaking, part of bad guys.
Do you think it's more that he wanted to know what police knew in terms of the investigation, so he could kind of be one step ahead? Or do you think it's because he's proud of what he's done?
A little of both. Absolutely a little of both. And that's exactly the way I read it also, just as you stated it. What do they have? What do I have to come up with? What's the next line I need to say? But it's so hard, and I gave the detectives so much credit for sticking to, nope, we're done, you're finished, you invoked your amendment rights, that's fine. And he kept coming after you. You need a lot of discipline to continue to walk away from it and not throw something at him. So I gave the detectives in that interview a ton of respect and admiration for doing that, because that is very hard to do, especially if you're pretty convinced you got your guy.
Oh, absolutely. Because they did the Miranda rights. They were following protocol. But then all of a sudden he says he wants his attorney. Maybe he's going to give us something more. I mean, I would struggle not asking more questions and getting more answers, but they're thinking 10 steps ahead. When and if this goes to trial, we don't want this thrown out. So you're right. Great work to the detectives on their part. And actually, I kind of want to go back now and talk about them, because this happened literally all over the country. So the murder is obviously in Idaho. He's arrested in Pennsylvania. So we have multiple jurisdictions there. Plus the FBI is involved in all of this. So how does that work when we have these jurisdictions from, again, all over the country working together to come and get Kohlberger and interview him? How does that work?
Just a lot of communication and a lot of planning and strategizing. I've had to do it. And it takes, that's all it is just getting everyone on the same page and open communication of what's going on. So no one's overstepping, no one's stepping on each other. Everyone has their role in what they're doing. And it worked out well. It started, on one coast and went through the surveillance of him traveling around the country, and then ended up in Pennsylvania. And that's all it is. It's just coordination and making sure no one's going to be the hero. No one's going to overstep what they're doing. Just stick to the game plan and get the end result is what we all want. And you were exactly right in what you said before. The planning of the trial starts in the very beginning of this case. And you never want to do something wrong to jeopardize that. As much as you want an answer, or as much as you want to find a piece of evidence, you have to do it all the right way, because all of that leads up to the prosecution. You don't want anything going wrong in a trial.
All of these detectives are playing the long game, right? Because this happened in December of 2022. We're now in July.
What do you mean, what's Friday, Tomboy?
What part?
Chickadee said I better buckle up because tomorrow's Friday. I'm like, what's Friday?
I don't know. I know tomorrow I'll be joining Andrew Myers and Yoli on their channel to discuss the um law enforcement intimidation factor, kind of what we talked about with Gabriela Vargas and stuff like that. And they asked me to join them over there, so I hope you guys tune in for that. I'll give you guys the dates, their times, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that should be interesting. But that's all I know about Friday as far as I'm concerned. But gotcha. And I asked what we're watching. This is a Law and Crime Network. What is true? Good to see you, by the way. Talking about because Brian has there's never been a interrogation video put out about Brian Kohlberger. This is the closest thing we got, which was Moscow report number, I think it was 194 or 149. I think, don't quote me, 143, I'm sorry, where they describe the interview in a report based on how it went. And this kind of gives a little bit of what they're doing. And then she brings in, Stanman here to give his analysis of it, which is way off point in my opinion. So just saying.
The reason they said it couldn't be released was, well, I thought it was two reasons, because it was in Pennsylvania and then it was done by the FBI. The FBI was there.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it was the FBI that said, no, you're not getting it because it's their stuff and they don't have to. So yeah.
It's a matter of national security.
Yes, that was it right there. National security was the big issue. And I want to know, so, okay, let's talk about that for a minute, you guys. Are you still here, Kim?
Right. It does say that Gilbertson had a handheld device. Where is that?
Right. He recorded it with his portable audio device. They said that too. So are you still here, Kim? She might have stepped away because I wanted to discuss this point real quick. What do you guys honestly think in an interview, an interrogation video of a quadruple homicide murder suspect could cause an issue with national security? Anybody?
It's the first time I've heard that. That's crazy.
No, I remember that. It's ridiculous, but I remember it being said, and I thank you, Tomboy, for refreshing my mind on that. Yeah, I remember it being said because I remember all of us went, "What? What are you talking about, national security?" So immediately, when you hear something like that, it makes you think Brian was working for the feds. A lot of people believe, boom, right away. There she is. So
he did a FOIA on his interview to the FBI.
You can't. They say they don't even respond.
Oh no, she got a response. She got one from Homeland Security too. They said it's a matter of national security, whatever the fuck that means.
So
and he lawyered up with every single. He didn't talk after this, right? He lawyered up, and that was it. There's nothing to even.
You talked to his attorney. That's it. Yeah.
Right. So
what caused the matter of national security?
That's why they wouldn't release, and they won't release the interrogation video of Brian Kohlberger in Pennsylvania because the feds said no. It's a matter of national security. And I'm not saying, listen, I don't want anybody to take off running with what I just said. I said that's what people said when they heard that people said, oh my God, Brian works for the feds. He's a fed, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't want you guys to run away with that. What I'm saying is people were immediately thinking that because when you hear an interrogation video in a murder case is a matter of national security, what the hell does that mean? Okay. And that's why people went that direction automatically. But that's what I'm asking all you guys. And that's what we're discussing. What else do you guys think it would be? I'm sorry. Say again.
Didn't that come from SG?
I think so. There you go. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Exactly.
National security is used when the government messed up big and when they frame. Good point.
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, Tandy. Good to see you, hon.
I just think this lone gunman thing is getting old.
So let's it is. It's been old, but let's say that then. Let's back up and discuss that point real quick that Lucy just made. So national security is used when the government screws up and when they're framing people per se. It's easier. It's easier because if you say it's a matter of national security, guess who's going to question it? We will. We don't matter. Nobody else is going to say anything about it because they're just not. You don't question that, okay? And that's why it's been left alone. Of course, none of us are going to leave it alone because we know what it is basically for what it is, but why? There's no good reason that was given for this. Not one.
What if Brian said things during that interview because of his like cloud-based forensics knowledge,
Bingo.
and maybe he did recognize pain from something
Bingo.
and from some of his investigating that Brian stumbled onto, because that's what I always thought. I always thought he was like he caught them in something, or he was onto something nefarious. These are just my ideas and opinions, but
And there we have
that would be why he would be the fall guy.
Thank you. And there we kill two birds with one stone, folks. Like I said, there we have motive and reason for Brian Kohlberger to be introduced to this situation because, again, we know Brian was a nosy person. He was, and I mean nosy in the fact that he was very interested in crime. Okay. He liked to look into things, and one of his big factors was sexual crimes. Okay. That was his big to do. He was very interested in that kind of stuff, and he looked into it a lot because of his background of what he was doing. Makes you wonder. Okay. It makes you wonder. And I put this together in my head a couple different times. It doesn't mean it's anything, but it makes you wonder. Did he fall into something that he wasn't supposed to? Like Tim just said, did he bring this up in the interview? Because we all know Brian is a true to form, real deal person. He's not going to bullshit around anything. He's not going to lie about things because he just doesn't. He couldn't even lie about wearing a fucking seatbelt, folks. So there's that.
Right. That's like the autism part of it. He's just going to be brutally honest because that's the way he speaks. It's just blunt to the point.
Exactly. So knowing that, and it made me wonder, we were told, I can't remember which one of the roommates it was that stated in an interview that Kaylee was looking into registered sex offenders in the area, okay, for her job or something. So I wonder if Brian was looking into those things. I wonder if
it was the G's who said that.
Right. Said what?
About her looking into the sex offenders. And
No, it came out of Bethany or Dylan said it in one of their interviews. The G's may have said it too, but she said it. One of those two girls said it in one of the two interviews I listened to. I remember catching it like, wait a minute. But yeah, that I think it was one of Dylan's interviews. It might have been the third one where she said that Kaylee was. I know Kaylee was looking into registered sex offenders in this area for something to do with her job. Okay, so or something like within that, maybe trafficking or something too. But yeah, I remember it being said. So.
I mean, I would too if I were her. I would look into it. I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. Maybe Kaylee had fallen into something herself and found something, was like, what the hell? And maybe she said something to somebody. They're like, she's not supposed to know about that. That's a problem.
Like Adam?
Maybe. And maybe. Okay. And maybe Brian was doing the same thing at the same time, doing his own thing, looking into stuff for maybe one of his reports or something. And he fell into a hole and said, oh, whoa, And again, I tell the honest truth about things. He did do an interview with Pullman Police Chief. Maybe he brought it up to him, and that the word got out from that point. I'm just saying, guys, these are what ifs. Okay, they're just what ifs. That's all they are. But they're things that I think about regularly with this case because they do make some things make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. All of what you guys just said adds up and makes a lot of sense to me. Especially when they kept talking about, what he likes to do, what he wanted to do, what his plans were. And they're like, oh, this guy knows way too much. And like, it makes sense because they got, Kaylee's going, Maddie's going, and then they SWAT and kill one guy, and this one's in prison 2 days later, or I forget what happened first. But I just find too that both Brian and Kohlberger, he's dead, and 2 days later they arrest Brian, or how it worked, something like that. Like,
don't misunderstand me, guys. I'm not saying that Brian and Kaylee were communicating back and forth. I'm saying they were both doing separate things on their own that went into the same hole. Okay, that's what I mean. Sorry if I said that the wrong way. I didn't mean to.
And maybe
ahead,
I'll
Kim.
looks into this stuff to see who's looking into things, who can't, who knows too much, because I feel like we're watching Ozarks and we're like at season 3 in this story, because it's like a movie.
I missed that show.
One guy's in prison, it's like,
Yeah. Well, and there again, this area is, and Tomboy's up here. I'm glad she is, because she's from this area. Okay. She can reiterate this. She can verify this area is very bad because it's a border state as well too, but it's very bad for trafficking. Okay. Not only in drugs, folks, but other things. Am I wrong, Tomboy? And it has been for a long time. Are you still here?
an outsider probably doesn't understand that they're all in bed together. And you're the
I'm
one
eating. I gotta go eat dinner. I'm listening.
Did you hear my question to you before you go eat dinner?
What was your question?
I said the area, I said you could probably reiterate or verify this because this is the area you're from, is known and is very bad for trafficking and not just in drugs, okay? And
Correct.
because it's a border state, so on and so forth, and it has been for a long time. So
Well, I don't know necessarily that it has to do with the border states, but you need to remember I-90 goes from coast to coast.
well,
I-90 is a massive trafficking route.
Bingo.
So when you can go from Boston to Seattle and Highway 95 goes north and south, you know?
Yes. And guys, I know a lot of you don't rely on things that WSU mom Kim said to me or any of us. She said that a lot. Okay. She said that a lot. And she pounded it into my head on personal phone calls, out here on lives, all sorts of things, but she said it a lot. And I'm not saying everything she said came true, but quite a few things did. And they sure do make sense now, is all I'm going to say. And other people have said this about this area, guys. So there again, just saying.
Seems like the Epstein files reveal everything. So maybe they'll have this in it too. Maybe we'll find out who's working. I just feel like everything leads back to the Epstein files. I feel like, we're going to find out all this crazy stuff that's been going on behind our backs for the last
I don't
50,
know.
500 years, including.
What were you going to say, Kim? You might be right.
I don't know if the national security statement is true because we don't know exactly what source that came from. But even if it was like an exaggeration or something like that, like I started thinking, like, what does that mean? Like it's a threat to, maybe it's not national security, but maybe it's like super important information coming out or something like that. I'm thinking it's information that the general public's not supposed to know. And that just makes me think, like, if Brian was really working on that cloud-based forensics or something like that, maybe there's some technology out there or things like that he was involved in that they don't want out, or law enforcement. We know that there was like a special task force in that area already working on what you're talking about. It was either drugs or it was the trafficking,
or both.
Something big. It was something big. And that, like, look at what's happened around the world, like with all the, cartel, takedowns, and
right.
There has been a movement against that. So if it could be blowing the cover, what if it was blowing the cover of somebody involved in that? We've talked a lot about that with informants or things
or not to interrupt you, but yes, with what you're saying, I think we even mentioned this once not too long ago earlier. If the investigation would have been blown and it was a 4 or 5 year investigation, okay, they put all this money, all this time. Federal agencies make sacrifices, folks, for things they do. That's a fact. I'm sorry. If you don't want to hear it, it sucks. It's ignorant. It's not a good thing, but they do. They will sacrifice whatever they need to get what they want, to get what they need. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was a task force, the DEA, the FBI on the ground investigating something before this happened. So yes, absolutely. Sorry to interrupt
Something
you.
could have been deeply embedded in, who knows, the fraternities, the drug world, I don't know. Maybe Brian found that out. I don't know, but
Right.
that's weird.
And I think
It is
you're
very
absolutely
strange.
right.
And then they bring in, the prosecution brings in Josh Hurwitz, who specialized in some of these things before he left his position.
Yeah.
And said they brought him in for the psychiatric background. Come on. No, that doesn't make any sense. You guys think about that statement. Come on. I don't believe that. So they bring him on board for this on the prosecution side. Okay. There's a lot of these things. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So to look at it from this angle, it's not odd. Okay. And it does make sense. And I absolutely could understand it. I can imagine a sacrifice being made to continue an investigation that has been going on for years, possibly, into some seriously important people involved in shit they shouldn't be. And we just lost 4 young lives. I'm sorry for that, but we have to continue what we're doing. And I can see that happening in this country, folks, because it happens all the time. That's all I'm saying. So
to me, it's the only thing that makes sense is they're gone because of something that they either were doing and didn't realize how serious it could be, or maybe that house was being used for something. Because, I mean, I don't know, but Homeland Security was there, right? Weren't they there pretty quickly? Is there any reason why they would be there other than they suspect it had something to do with trafficking, or I don't know, a stash house, or I don't know, because they're on the border? I don't know. Like, what was the reason they were there? Do you guys even know? Do we even know?
Not really. A whiteboard. I'm about 45 minutes from that area. Miss Lucy's a little closer than I am.
Yeah, I'm about an hour.
Yeah, Kim's close. Lucy's probably like very close. I'll just put it that way. But yeah, I know about that's a weird situation too. Very sad. So I probably talk about that at some point too. But no, I agree with that. Let's see what Mr. Clean here had. Or ladies, did you either one of you have anything else to say before I go forward with this?
Remember, I thought I brought this up before, but the Boys on the Tracks. It was the story from when Clinton was a governor. You guys should look it up, but it's CIA involved, and they pinned the murder of 4 boys on somebody else, but they actually did it allegedly. You should look it up. It kind of reminds me of this a little bit, but only
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, some people have done documentaries on it. You can there's a couple of things out there about it. It's called The Boys on the Tracks.
Gotcha.
It's about the CIA.
Definitely look into it for sure.
Yeah, it's really effed up.
I probably actually The Boys on the Tracks. I think actually JJ brought that up too.
Yeah, it's really.
I think I do know what you're talking about.
The Clinton crime family, basically.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes. All right, guys, on we go with the next part of this.
By 2025, and now we finally have a conviction. I mean, it's been years in all of this. So you're right, they really have to be thinking ahead. And that kind of leads into my next question. When they're going to prepare for this interview, how do they do that? I mean, it could go multiple ways. He could say, yes, I want an attorney, which is eventually what happened. We did get some details, but he eventually says, I want an attorney. Or he could be an open book and say, here's what happened. Or he could be hard to break. I mean, how do you prep for an interview where you don't know what's going to happen?
Yep, you know what? That's the relationship between partners. And I'm sure they have done it numerous times. And that's what you just strategize. Who's going to take what role? Who's going to be kind of the lead question, detective in this? Who's going to take the lead on this? That's all coordination and relationship and personalities you have with your partner. There may be, and this happens quite often, you have a suspect in a room that gravitates towards one of the detectives. That happens often, so you need to just think real quick. And if you have to switch roles right away, that's part of it. And I'm sure they were prepared for every scenario because you game planned it. And exactly what you said, Sierra. What if he says this? What if we go down this road? What are we going to do? And I'm sure even in the beginning, they were a little surprised of how much he was talking, and not just as soon as you walk in the room, I want a lawyer. So again, it's relationships, it's experience when you're questioning suspects like this and how the interview goes.
That is crazy for you. Someone was murdered last night between 2 and 3 at your apartment building. Jesus. If you don't mind, what area do you live in, Foya? You don't have to give us the exact, but just curious. And I hope you're okay. Good Lord.
Talking to your point about gravitating toward one of the detectives, I feel like we might have seen this a bit here. Right when they opened it up, came into the interview room, one of the detectives who this document was written from his perspective, Detective Payne, Kohlberger says he looks familiar. And later on, we find out Kohlberger watches the news. Now, Payne is obviously involved in this investigation. He's, some would say, a face of it. He's at least one of the faces of it. So we've got twofold here. The fact that he recognizes this detective who's obviously involved in a major murder investigation, number one. Number two.
I'm sorry, that's not a good excuse. I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't remember seeing, if anything, many news broadcasts that showed Brett Payne's face. If I can remember any, I don't remember any. Okay? To be honest with you. So that's not a good excuse in my opinion. I'm sure people looked him up, but they didn't show much of him at all. And to be honest with you guys, I think I understand now, not to jump subject, but why I think Blaker was the lead on this, because I've come to find out now, as of yesterday during that interview, he was referenced as Detective Sergeant something Blaker. So he's a detective as well. And I didn't know that. I wondered why his name was on everything. So just another little piece of info for those of you that may not have known, like me, that he was a detective. So, yeah, this is one of the dumbest excuses I've ever heard in my life. The only time I remember seeing Brett Payne on the news itself was after when they gave their little victory speech after the fact. That's the only time I remember seeing him on any news stations about this case, guys. Truly and honestly, I may be wrong, but even if there was one, it was like one, maybe two. Okay. But the man was not all over the news like she's making it sound. That never was a thing. So that's not how Brian knows who he is, in my opinion.
He's watching this news coverage. I mean, not only is it local in Idaho, it's across the country. It's in Pennsylvania. We're covering it here on Law and Crime. I'm in Pennsylvania when all of this happens. I mean, everyone's all over the place following this. So what does that say about Kohlberger that he's been following the news of this case?
Paying attention to detail and wanting, the details of what's being said out there.
The truth behind that question, because this, once again, another dumbass answer he's going to give, is because, one, he's a criminology student. Okay, he's obviously interested in crime. I cover true crime on my YouTube channel. I'm interested in true crime and crime. I watch the news to watch for crime stories. The same thing that Brian's doing. This idiot's trying to say that he's watching for details to see who's saying what. If they're on to him, is what he's going to say. I'm going to guarantee you. But that's not what it is, folks, in my opinion.
The news is a great resource, if you're a bad guy, because, sometimes they overstep what they should be saying and where the investigation's at. And that goes with sources and all that stuff. But that is research. That's what it is. And, it brought me back to a very well-known case, the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez knew who the detectives were who were looking for him. And as soon as they caught him, that was the very first thing Richard Ramirez said to Gil Carrero.
Richard Ramirez is the psychotic serial killer. Brian Kohlberger is not. Okay? Two different stories, two different situations, two different types of people.
I know you. Same exact thing. So that's why when he said that, it brought me back to that case of how that thought process works.
So this guy's been following the news coverage of it, obviously. And another major point of contention in this case is that Brian Kohlberger he went to multiple different universities. Eventually, he was studying his PhD in criminology, which he talked about being a police officer. Even in this very interview, he said, yeah, I considered it. He's going through and studying, what makes a person commit a crime, what happens in the investigation. This is very interesting. And I think something a lot of people point to in this specific case is it that Brian Kohlberger wanted to carry out the perfect crime and see he could get away with it. I mean, his interest in the criminology really does stand out to me. What do you make of it that he's talking about it in this interview?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is, hey, I'm like you. I'm just like you guys, just want to, do the right thing and be a cop and go after bad guys. So we're all the same. And the other thing is, like you said, what goes into it? How is evidence collected? How are interviews conducted? How are investigations conducted? To set yourself up as a point of resource in a future act. So I think both of those things were going on at the same time. And the other thing I think that was going on was him just bragging about his education of, look, I'm no dummy. I'm really smart. I know what I'm doing. You're not going to, outthink me. I'm going for my PhD. So I think a lot of that resonated as far as I was concerned reading that of you're not smarter than me.
Brian Kohlberger never said anything like that. Brian Kohlberger never acted that way. And Brian Kohlberger never presented himself in any court hearings or anything that we've seen in that sense. So once again, this is your personal opinion, and it's jaded, and you're biased, and it's ridiculous.
It's interesting, based on Brian Kohlberger, what I've researched about him in the years since this happened. What you're saying checks out to me, that he was very confident in his smarts, that he's going, to get his PhD and all of that. You're not smarter than me. That makes sense to me now. But it's also interesting that now we have a person who's been convicted of 4 murders. So how smart was he and all of that? Anyway, that's a completely side note. One of the other questions I had about all of this is kind of speaking of study. He mentioned he went to WSU. There was some talk about that. But then Brian Kohlberger himself, also brought up the University of Idaho, which of course we know these 4 victims were students there. So it's interesting and a bit telling to me that he would bring up the specific university. What did you think about that?
That's the leaking part again. That's just an inability to stay quiet about something that he knows is important to him. And that was classic. It's just little pieces that they put out there that skilled and experienced detectives will jump on. The bad guy may think nothing of it, just because it's a conversation, something that's on their mind. But to someone with experience and a detective like that, that is a absolute red flag that jumps up when bad guys voluntarily give information about a crime that maybe no one knows about, or it's not really relevant in the interview that's taking place right now. Those are all red flags, and hats off to the detectives for making a note of it and understanding what he was talking about.
This reminds me of in many cases where we see they're looking for someone's missing, they're looking for a suspect, and investigators go out there and say, any information could help us. You may think it's irrelevant, but please come forward with it. And I think that could be something here too, because they do a bit of small talk for a while too. They talk about the weather. They talk about the road trip all the way from Washington State over to Pennsylvania. I mean, they're talking about things that you and I would talk about at coffee, but I mean, there could be some things in there. I guess that leads into my question. Why would they be starting with all of this small talk? They're not, slamming the papers on the table and saying, we know you did it. They're saying, oh, it was just Christmas break. It's about to be New Year's. What's going on with you and your family? I mean, tell me about the small talk part.
Yeah, that's a strategy. And I used it every interview I did. I started off interviews talking about the New York Yankees or the Knicks or the Rangers or whatever the sports were going on in New York at the time. That was my thing, and my partner knew it. I would start off 15 minutes talking about sports, because what does it do? It just brings the person down into just a normal sense of a conversation. Then you start with the little bit of what the interview is actually about. I did that all the time, and most of the time, 90+% of the time, it worked, because you need to get someone calmed down.
This scares me, you guys. You know why? Because
it's crazy to talk. It's crazy talk. That's why. Calm down.
If you're a law enforcement officer, okay, you can't be biased. Period. You just can't. I'm sorry. If you can look at a situation and see things for a fact, if you walk in and there's a stabbing victim on the floor and there's a guy standing over top of him with a knife in his hand and there's blood all over him, okay, that's a different story. Besides that, you can't be biased. And this man is obviously beyond biased in this situation. Calm down, huh? Yeah. Okay. On we go. I just wanted to make that statement. Sorry. Are you back, Tomboy? Maybe not. Bomb toy.
You don't know their state of mind. You don't want to walk in there to a circus and a just emotional mess. You don't want to do that because you need to get information. Remember, the point of the interview is to get as much information as possible. So if you walk in just breathing fire and all over the place, they're going to shut down. It's not going to work. So it's a finessing thing that takes place in order to get what you're looking for. And I think they did a great job at that. And if you read the rest of it, it worked because he did open up about the traveling and where they went and how he was acting and all that. So that strategy worked very, very well.
I think you're right. He did open up. Maybe if it seems like, oh, we just were going on a drive, our trip, it was winter break, whatever. But of course, investigators are following along on that. And if and when it comes to trial, we're going to need to track exactly where he went from Washington, the drive over to Pennsylvania. It's so incredible for me to see because on its face, it does look like small talk, but the way that you're pointing it out and the way that it was described in the court documents, it really shows that these investigators were ahead of the game, that they really had planned everything out. What do you think is the most important thing to take from this interview?
I think a lot of it, you can't write down on paper. Me as an investigator sitting in that room is how is he acting? What emotions are coming out of him? What question did he kind of jump back on or flick his eyes more or move around in his chair more? So that's hard to explain on, a document. But that's one of the things I would like to see with that interview of just his actions, because that speaks volumes into what they're thinking or the reactions that they're getting from certain questions. But I think overall with an initial interview of someone that's sitting in front of you that is suspected of killing 4 kids, they did a masterful job with doing what they had to do at that point.
You're right. From this, we can't really tell. Was he kind of quiet and reserved? Was he loud? And, yes, I traveled from Washington. Say, what was his personality like in all of this? It's basically just the facts as they're laying them out. And I guess one thing I could tell from all of this about Bryan Kohlberger's personality and kind of what he was exuding in all of this is 2 things. He said that he was wondering about his parents. There was a SWAT situation at his home when he was arrested. How are my parents? Asking about them, asking about his dog. So he mentioned all of that kind of selfishly thinking about those things. And then additionally, he basically demanded, okay, enough is enough. We've done the small talk. What do you want me here for? So to me, it seems kind of self-serving in a way. Did that stand out to you?
Oh yeah, that goes to the narcissistic, hey.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my fucking God.
You've got to be kidding me. She didn't say that. At narcissistic, Jesus Christ. Okay, on we go.
Total projection. Insane.
This is absolute bias and only bias. I don't understand how people can sit here. I don't understand how people can report things as a reporter with a biased outlook on things. You have to be able to look at things from both sides. You just have to. And none of the people that have reported on this case do this. Okay. They don't do this. This came out. FOIA asked 7 months ago, July 24th of this past of 25, guys. So
this just came out this year?
Last year. Yeah.
That's hilarious because they've had time to figure out that Bryan, there was no motive. They had nothing. They had nothing leading to him. It was a total surprise to everybody. They couldn't find, nothing led to Bryan. They tried to wrap something around him. It wasn't his car. They could never give a motive. They needed him to tell them when, where, how.
Well, and 2, with what I just said, that's a good point, Krista. With what I just said, I started following this case believing when they caught him that he did it, because they said he did it. I went with that first until things were brought to our attention little by little by little. It took me 2.5, almost 3 full years to come to the point where I'm at right now, what I think. And I was 50-50 because they never showed any proof. And I could look at both sides of the fence for the longest time. Now okay, I know where I feel now and I know where I'm at now. But before that, no. Go ahead, Kim.
Did that too. Yeah.
I mean,
believe
like
there's
no have conversations with like people in your family about this because it's so deep. But I believed it too until I started talking to you guys a year ago. Because they gave us nothing. They gave us
my mother. Right. My mother even did the whole devil's advocate thing with this when we would talk. And she's like, yeah, but Joey, what about, and she calls me Joey still. Yes. But what about, this, and this? I'm like, no, Mom, this is what it is. That's what it is. This is what to the point now where she sees now all the backpedaling that's been done with everything that they tried to claim, put him there that made him the murderer. And that it took her that period of time to see it the same way we do now. But in the beginning, Brian Kohlberger did it just as much as all of us probably thought he did it the very first moment when they arrested him, because we had no reason not to think he did it. Okay. They have proven the case against themselves, in my opinion. Okay. They who put all this out have proven the case against themselves and pointed out everything that we see.
Yeah.
Especially this car, like it wasn't his vehicle. And it's like they needed him to tell them everything, because they still to this day said, we don't know why it was there. It could have been random. The fact that at the very end of he pleads guilty, and then they tell everybody how they had nothing on him, not a goddamn thing. Not 5 agencies could not get the one.
Did you see what Foya's other comment? That one?
Oh my God. Please.
I was laughing at that too. Sorry. That's great.
No, she didn't.
She's right. You're right, though. I mean, look at the dude. I mean, good catch there, Foya. Good catch.
That's awesome. I would love that link of her saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Heather Barnhart is an expert on interviews for the Nancy Guthrie disappearance and has been caught saying it doesn't matter if the phones are turned off.
What?
How about that?
I have a question about her pacemaker. Now they said that it can still she's gone. It can still ping, right? So why don't they take that skimmer and just go around and see if it pings her? You know what I mean?
They tried. It just doesn't seem to work. And could one of the mods screenshot that comment right there and drop it in the Discord to Kim, please? That is so funny for you, but you're right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. But anyway,
I want to go back to these two. Like they're talking like they've heard the interview.
Exactly. Right.
They're going off words on a page, and they're talking like they know Brian's personality based off these words on a page. Like, and what personality he answered their questions. He talked a lot about his schooling stuff because he wants to talk about things that interest him. That's what they do. That just bothers me.
Person that has some kind of opinion about him, and the poor guy has said nothing. They call him an incel. Then he's a psycho. He's a gaslighter. He's a murderer. He's but he's a normal guy.
A narcissist. And to call it selfish, to check on your parents, that is the opposite of selfishness. Selfish would be F my parents. I'm not going to ask anything about my parents. Like that's crazy.
And my dog or my cats, like all the souls that you just traumatized for life, that's who I'd be worried about. Like what? You went in, my parents are in their 60s, 70s, and you went and did what to their house? And like, you really think I did this? I mean, when you hear that, it's like, wow, like you did.
It would be interesting to go on a deep dive to track how did this narrative get out to all of these? Is this a news station, Dago?
It's Law and Crime.
Oh, it's Law and Crime is playing.
Yeah.
Or is this a Law and Crime person?
This is one of their side shows called Scandal. Okay. But yeah.
But like even to like you'd have to start at like the major news networks, like
right.
How, because we were talking about, you said bias. This is biased. Yes. And the whole narrative on all of the major news networks trickling down to the minor ones like here has been against him. And it's been the same narrative. They've all said the same things. Like, who's leading that? Like, where is that root? So like if it comes from Moscow, Idaho, like if it's from the university or if it's from law enforcement, like who has that much power that it's getting out? Like, is it the FBI? Are they? Because we all know all the major news networks are owned by certain like-minded people.
Yes.
So it's not hard to get to them with one narrative, but
I think it started with in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think it started with the prosecution for sure. Scott Green from the University of Idaho for sure. And Moscow PD. At least those are the first three that I would link it to in the beginning. Yeah, Lucy said Scott too. I don't. Who is this? Hogan Levels.
Think about this. Oh, I don't know who that is, but I just thought, like, we've talked a lot about the fraternities and like what a lifelong club membership that is. You know that, like, we'll just use Sigma Chi as an example. There's Sigma Chi's at every major news outwork, news network, and they probably work like that.
I mean, yeah. It started at the very bottom, and they started. Like I said, I've always believed that somebody started the propaganda train at the very bottom. Okay, and from day one, from the moment they put handcuffs on this kid, from the moment they filmed him flying across the United States, which was so ridiculous to me, him landing, being walked across the tarmac in chains, all of it. They filmed it all on purpose, folks, the way they did to create the propaganda against Brian Kohlberger. And from that moment forward, I think they were sending these things to the media on purpose. Okay. We all know the media reaches out to law enforcement, to the prosecutor's office. What's going on? What's the deal? We need the story, blah, blah, blah. And they were all over that, like, hell yeah. And they threw it all at them and said, this is what you say. This is how you say it. Here's the photographs you show, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that's what they did every time the news came on. Every time. I could go back and show you guys. I watched, I don't know how many different, just catching up on what the news was saying about this. It was nothing but he did it, he did it, he did it, he did it. They never one time said they will prove that he did it. He's innocent till proven guilty. Never did they ever say that. They never pushed that narrative. They never pushed that the relativity of innocent till proven guilty. It was always he did it, he did it, he did it. He's a bad person. This guy did this. He probably killed this person, and he probably killed this couple, and he stole his sister's phone, and he killed this woman in PA all day, every day.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah, it was an onslaught. Yep.
The craziest thing is that like all the things that have come out and all the things that we've seen just out from them, and they still keep this narrative that sounds goddamn impossible. We know they weren't sleeping, that nobody questions the 9 hours. Nobody says, oh, the two suspects that were, two victims, whatever I call them suspects. Then nobody ever questions any of it. It's like, Brian did it. Brian did it. He's such a psycho. What's psychotic is what Dylan says. That's psychotic. That's a psycho who stays at a house and somebody who admits to hearing murderous shit and doesn't find it, she has no fear. They could just go to sleep and, because nothing happens in Moscow. So we just figured, the guy was there to do what? Put a fire out? Ask the fireman if before you go to sleep with the fires out, at least. Go see if your friends were on fire. I don't know. But to me, that's the psychotic part, are those people that think nothing of a murderous man in their house for 9 hours.
Does anybody have a clip of that thing that Foya just put up there?
It's
don't
live
forget
newscast.
the vendor over in Pennsylvania.
Craziest thing that Scott Barnhart, is that his name Scott, the Barnhart guy said was,
I'll go look for it, Kim.
I can't believe that I actually had to write on a form that it's impossible for him to have shut his phone off and still have pictures or something like that. I'm like, dude, you're the fucking expert. Tell them that he did shut his phone off and he did that that he did take pictures and he didn't shut his phone off.
I'm the superstar now. I'm the celebrity. Hey, what do you want from me? I'm the center of attention right now.
Okay, Mr. Clean.
What was that? The video? It didn't move.
No. It was something else I had in the background, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
That fireman thing was crazy. That somebody
killed the fireman.
Two of them, actually.
Oh, the fireman. Yes, up in the woods. That thing. Yes.
It makes sense. Right? It sounds like it could be connected. I know it's like just another thing with this case that sounds absolutely wild, but it kind of feels like it could have leaked back.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Brent Kopacka, then the fireman. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy.
And Brian's in prison. They shut
everything up. Oh my gosh.
They shut everybody up, Kim. They even beat up that poor driver, delivery guy. What was he? Uber driver or Uber or for
No, he was a delivery driver, pizza guy.
Okay, I thought it was for what's it called? DoorDash or something, or something like. Didn't they do something to somebody that worked for DoorDash too? It's like everybody that could possibly maybe did this is gone. The guy that went to the hospital. With the broken leg.
I'm recording. All right. So first question would be.
Okay, so the guy's name was Jason Labar. Hold on here. I don't know what.
Jago, I got a quick question for you too.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
The father that you're going to talk to, is his son Adam or Austin? Adam?
Austin. His name, the father's name is Adam. The son's name is Austin. Yes.
Was he a DoorDash driver or did he drive for a specific pizza?
It said that he was a delivery driver. I'll have to go back to the story and
that would be interesting if Krista's saying like if he was a DoorDash driver and
yeah, it would definitely be interesting. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that one exactly, but I know I heard something about being one of the right after that, either DoorDash or whoever. I think it was sort of Robert, or they worked for the company or something, and that's like, wow, what?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I don't remember. I didn't hear that, but I will look at it for sure and have that information to give you. The crazy pastor story case. What is?
I'm telling you, we're only on season 3.
I don't know what you mean, whiteboard. Give me a little more detail on it so I can kind of know what you mean, buddy. Or ma'am. Sorry, I don't know what y'all are, but
it's hard to know.
Yes, I know. This is I think that attorney. Hold on 1 minute here. I'm sorry.
I just think it like if you I don't know. I always say Ozarks because this is what it reminds me of. Like that town. Once you got to like season 3, you're like, this is nuts. None of this stuff is like it makes it's crazy. That's what this feels like. It just
reminds me of a combination of Ozarks and Twin Peaks. Exactly.
You say Twin Peaks. I always say Ozarks and the other one, the teacher. Oh my god,
the one that killed his wife,
Micah Miller.
Oh, that was crazy.
I covered that long time ago. Is there new stuff going on in it? I can do updates on it.
All I hear is justice for Micah, justice for Micah.
He is insane. I'll say that's true. So, let's see what we got here with this.
That's a gaslighting narcissist.
Yeah, is this what are you showing here?
Caleb Flynn. Oh, no, that's a new one.
In Ohio. Ooh.
Another one in Ohio.
Ohio's gone wild.
Yes, we have. I guess I will look that up, whiteboard, for sure. This is an interview with Brian's attorney, his first attorney.
Great.
Yeah, this is through WNEP. Let me see here. Make sure it's right. But give me a minute.
Oh, the Idol guy, the American Idol guy, that guy. Oh my god.
What did you say?
It was that he was an American Idol contestant before. The guy, what was his name? Flynn.
Caleb Flynn.
Caleb, yeah, he was originally a contestant or something, and then and they were like together 16 years, I think.
Yeah, I will definitely anything in Ohio. I try to take a look at because it's backyard stuff, so I will definitely take a look at it for sure. Let me see what this is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Brian Kohlberger in Pennsylvania. Did he reveal anything? Brian Kohlberger.
Okay, so this is the news reporter. She got this interview while at home, I'm guessing. So here we go. From WNEP. This was January 12th of 2023. When he was arrested in Pennsylvania, public defender.
Brian Kohlberger in Pennsylvania. Did he reveal anything to you that the public or the police don't already know at this point?
When I spoke to Brian about the case, I made it quite clear that I was only his attorney for the extradition proceeding. So we never spoke about any of the facts or circumstances surrounding the actual alleged crime itself.
Gotcha. So you're essentially just as much in the dark as the rest of us when it comes to any connection he might have had to these students or a possible motive if he did commit the crime.
Correct. I wanted to view the case objectively myself also. So I was working in the blind because I didn't have the affidavit of probable cause. So I wouldn't even be able to discuss anything with him, even if he relayed any information to me.
Gotcha. So you said before that he helped you craft the statement that you made on his behalf after his arrest. What was his opinion on the statement? What did he want to make sure was said or was included?
I think the most important part was the exoneration part. He believed that he would be exonerated, which to me implicitly meant that he was innocent of the crimes, so that obviously there wouldn't be either enough evidence or he was going to be found innocent of the crimes.
Throughout your interactions with him, how would you describe his demeanor?
When I was speaking with Mr. Kohlberger, he was very calm. He was aware of the serious nature of what was going on. He was easy to talk to. I've said multiple times that he's very intelligent, which might make it easier for me to have a conversation with him. And really, he was just really candid about the situation as far as the extradition was concerned. So it wasn't difficult to talk to him about the extradition at all.
You said that he was very calm. Did it surprise you at all that he wasn't more visibly upset or agitated?
Not at the time. I really didn't take anything of it. I mean, I've done this for a long time, and every defendant reacts differently with these types of charges. I mean, he was shocked by the arrest, were his words. So, I mean, it didn't surprise me. I was probably just as shocked as he was that he was found in Monroe County.
Definitely. You were probably not expecting this to come your way.
I definitely, after I was following the case, I did not expect Mr. Kohlberger to end up in Monroe County and be an alleged suspect.
So the evidence presented in the affidavit basically is the DNA, the car, the cell phone pings, and the physical description given by one of the surviving roommates. If you were representing him in this murder trial, what would your strategy be? Do you think that the police have an airtight case, or do you think you'd be able to poke holes in any of that?
Well, it's obviously going to be Attorney Taylor's job to poke holes in that. Looking at it objectively, this is just the infancy of the case, and all we have is still the affidavit of probable cause. But from what you mentioned, if you individually look at each piece of evidence, there's holes as to each piece of evidence that's in the affidavit of probable cause. I've stated before that it's a strong circumstantial case, but with a lot of those holes. If you look at the sheath that was left at the scene that contained or had Brian's DNA on it, that's touch transfer DNA. It's not blood DNA that we're aware of, and we don't know if there's more blood DNA around the corner. But as far as the touch transfer DNA, that just means that he touched that object, and it could have went undisturbed for a long period of time. Experts would tell you if it goes undisturbed, it could be forever that you would be able to recover his touch DNA. If we talk about the identification on scene made by DM, I classified it as shaky at best. It certainly isn't 100% Mr. Kohlberger. And quite frankly, I think Attorney Taylor will make that identification almost unusable for the Commonwealth based upon my experience due to the circumstances surrounding both the ID and the aftermath of the ID. As far as the car being in the vehicle, again, I don't know of any direct evidence that it's actually Brian's car or that he was driving the vehicle. They're using circumstantial evidence, and they're using strong circumstantial evidence to say that it was his vehicle at this time. But that all goes back to the cell phone tower pings, which are very unreliable. That any expert's going to testify that that cell phone tower ping, you're just within a radius of the tower that it pings off of. And that radius could be up to 20 miles wide. Obviously, as the crow flies, I think Brian was approximately 8 miles away from the University of Idaho, where the crime was allegedly committed. So at any moment in time, any day, he could ping off of a tower that would put him within that radius. So certainly there's circumstantial evidence. When grouped together, it seems like it's fairly strong. But at this point in time, there's obvious holes and holes that the prosecution can close. I want to make that clear. But looking objectively at it, I mean, right now it's a strong circumstantial case, but it has certain holes that can very competent defense attorney like Attorney Taylor is going to make those holes big, and they'll remain big, in my opinion, until closed.
So this question I just asked because of your knowledge and your background, there's a lot of questions and speculation surrounding the surviving roommate and why she might not have called the police for several hours. But all that's laid out in the affidavit is the reasons why they arrested Brian Kohlberger specifically. So is it fair to say there might be more information that the police are aware of that we're just not privy to at this moment?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be more that comes out. Obviously, we're not privy to the entire cell phone dump, nor will we be, of all four victims as well as Mr. Kohlberger. There could be a link that's established between them. I don't know. There also could be DNA evidence now, as the Pennsylvania State Police executed a search warrant on Mr. Kohlberger when he was in their custody. So that's also very important. So there could be blood DNA that's linked to the crime. You also have that really speculation about the van's footprint that was found at the scene. I know there's been video, and I watched the video too, of the police coming to the party, or one of the parties, where there was a noise complaint where the person who answered the door had a pair of Vans on. So really, there's a lot of work to do. I'm not saying the Commonwealth doesn't have more evidence that they're not sharing with us at this time, but my whole intention and my whole representation of Mr. Kohlberger was to make.
No, Meg, this is the interview with Brian's attorney, Jason Labar, his public defender, when he was arrested in Pennsylvania. Completely separate. I can give you guys the link for it.
Make sure that he gets a fair trial. And the only way to get a fair trial is to look at everything objectively and really wait until the evidence comes out at trial. Because that's what an individual who's, has that presumption of innocence is entitled.
Two more questions. Did it surprise you?
Boy, you guys, we should have heard that a whole lot more than we never heard that. Okay, we should have, though.
Finally, somebody with some sense, it seems like.
Yeah, right.
If he did commit the crime, did it surprise you that he would have left behind that leather knife sheath with his DNA on it, knowing that he is a criminology student?
I'll comment on that a little differently than what you want, but I mean, I'm a defense attorney. I know, or I should know, a lot about how police do investigations. I probably know more than Mr. Kohlberger on how they do police investigations. So to say that simply because he studied in criminology, and that makes it, a reason as to why he's a suspect. Every defense attorney could also be a suspect. Obviously, there's circumstantial evidence.
No, this is not McDonough's wife. She does look a little like her. This is just a news reporter from WNEP out of Pennsylvania.
That puts Mr. Kohlberger closer than me. But, I really don't want to comment on why the sheet may or may not have been left because, I can't really say why it was.
Right. That makes sense. Last question is probably the hardest. And if you don't want to answer it, that's okay. Obviously, Mr. Kohlberger enjoys the presumption of innocence. But after meeting him, after reading the affidavit, do you think he's guilty?
I don't judge cases like that. I look and wait until all of the evidence is brought out and testified to at trial. I know that sounds like a defense attorney canned speech, but really I can't comment until I know all of the evidence against Mr. Kohlberger, and nor would I want to comment because, again, he does have that presumption of innocence, and the evidence doesn't come fully out until actual trial. Certainly I anticipate tomorrow we're going to learn additional facts that are contained outside the affidavit of probable cause. So I'm anticipating that for tomorrow.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair enough. That is everything I wanted to ask. Anything else that you feel is important to get out there?
No, I've said it over and over and over. I just really, the news media needs to be objective when they're talking about the case in general. Obviously, we're not privy. No one's privy to all of the evidence in the case, and Mr. Kohlberger is entitled to a fair trial of his peers. And in order to do that, everyone must presume him innocent until they hear all of the evidence. And he's presumed innocent until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
I just really want to stress that as these cases become more in social media, on the internet, and people like to do their own sleuthing, it's important not to jump to any type of conclusions and raise any biases about the evidence.
Yeah.
If they had something else, they would
Too
have
late.
in our faces. They didn't have anything, and they all know this now. By the time
I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he would be interested in doing an interview with me after, since this is all said and done now.
Like, he's
I'd
so
like to see what Mr. LeBar thinks now.
Like, he's actually, like, it's not even like arguably, like, you can't even really, there's no means, really, no motive for it, and arguably no opportunity, because there were 6 people in that house. He didn't have any of that. They had nothing. And by the time this interview's done, they all know everything's out. The docs are out, I'm sure. The information's out. And Santa has told us we had nothing. We don't even know if it could have been random. After all this time, that's all you have. And why didn't you ask him? Because you know what? Because he said, I didn't do this, and there's nothing to tell you. The circumstantial evidence, to me, leads towards the people that were closest to the victims.
Yeah, and again, you see, I put it on screen. Twiz brought the word back up once before too, but he says it himself that everybody needed to remain objective, and nobody. It goes back to what I said earlier. Nobody. Look where we're at.
They made sure they gagged that stuff before they get all this interview stuff that made, and I even believed for 3 years, they gag it so you can't get the truth out. And then when the truth comes out, they're like, oh well, he pleaded guilty. That's what we have.
They screwed him to the ground from the beginning. They took away his preliminary hearing, which we were discussing last night. Grand juries are a joke, folks. Like Lee kept saying, and we've all heard this 1,000,001 times. A grand jury can indict a ham sandwich, folks. They can indict anything, anybody. There's no defense in a grand jury. There's nothing. It's basically what the hell do you call that? When they
anything you want, you don't have to have any real, like, you just say, you tell them anything you want about the case, like the
prosecution. Yeah, they burn him at the stake is what they do. The prosecution comes in and says, here it is. This is what he did. We know it. Have a nice day. He's guilty.
Didn't they even question Dylan anyway? Didn't they? They didn't want to indict him, actually. Didn't they say, like, we have more questions? And they kind of
did have more questions. There were 6 of them, from my understanding, that were uncomfortable with what the information they got.
Yeah.
And it was not enough. And they would refuse to give them any more information. So there again.
That's what I feel like. If they had something else to be thrown in our faces, this is how he did it, this is why, they would have told us. We would have known by now. They would have loved to tell us anything that led to Brian for real. You know? They're trying to be all this crap. He's this, he's that. It's like, but
what are your thoughts, Kim, on that interview with Mr. LeBar, if any at all?
I thought it was interesting that he's basically there for the extradition.
Right.
That seemed like a pretty cut and dry, simple process, but he seems like he really was vested in all the information and really dug into everything. He knew everything. He spoke well about all the information. He knew the PCA. Like, I thought, I'm like, wow, like, did this just catch his attention because it's a high profile thing? But
he's an attorney, you know.
Yeah. He, the points you guys probably said, that I love that he kept saying over and over and over again, innocent until proven guilty. And I love that he put out that call to action, which is probably why. I mean, I've covered, followed this case, and I don't remember seeing this interview anywhere. Like, I don't even remember seeing this, like, oh, it was so available that it came across your scrolling feed when you were looking up this case to be able to watch it. This is the first time I've seen this. as someone who like closely followed the case. So
I had this for a long time. I forgot that I had it, and I went and it looked when somebody mentioned it. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot, and I thank God it's still there. So yeah,
right, because they don't want that message out. They didn't want people to hear that.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
in my opinion. And I love that he said, you know, here's the evidence they have. It's circumstantial. There's holes, and she's gonna poke those holes, but he was expecting, like the rest of us, you better have more. And everybody kept saying there's gonna be more, there's gonna be more.
Yep.
And the more never came.
Oh, 100%. And not to mention, he questioned Dylan IDing Brian too, if you caught that, guys, which is very important, I think.
Yeah. It's right from the get-go. Like even he knew, like, she'll be destroyed.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
There's your answer, folks, to why this didn't go to trial. Okay. This is why this didn't go to trial. They knew. And we said this yesterday too. Yeah, he questioned the car too. Good point, Tomboy. You know you're up here and you can speak if you forgot. But yeah, they did. They absolutely. He hit all the important points in this. And you know, he seems like a decent guy. He's pointing out the things that are important. He seems like a decent attorney, is what I'm trying to say.
He's a critical thinker, thank God. It's refreshing to hear somebody on that side actually understand that what they're telling us, you know, bloody big holes, it's all circumstantial. I don't even hear anything circumstantial.
Well, and that's another thing too, is the man could have said, you know, they have this, they have that. I think he could have done it. He didn't do that. He said, you need to remain objective. Brian Kohlberger deserves his time, a fair trial. He deserves the ability to express himself, to prove his points, so on and so forth. End of story. That's what he said.
And now he said he described Brian completely opposite.
Thank you, Meg.
Didn't talk to Brian. He
Right.
actually spoke to Brian, and he said, "Calm." He pretty much said, "I would be, you know, I should definitely be, you know, exonerated." And you know, there's much more out. There's much more going on. I had nothing to do with this case. And it's like I would. That's what I'm saying. Like, was he calm because he knew he was not guilty, or, you know? And I give him props for not saying a goddamn word in 3 years, being called all kinds of this and that. They go out and they call his parents names, him names. They accuse him of things, and it's like this man has said nothing. I give him so much credit. So, and I'm getting a little upset that I don't know what's happening. Like, I do want to know
There's something happening. I keep saying this, and I'm not going to tell you guys what, because I don't know, but I feel it in my gut. I truly do, that there's something that's about to happen with this case, whether it's an appeal, whether it's they're finally going to show the bullshit that the prosecution did and the judge and all that, maybe, or all of it. I don't know. And it's not a guarantee, you guys, but in my gut, I've been feeling for a good month now, something's coming. So I truly believe that.
And it's not just speculation anymore. I mean, we have been
shut up.
We have been patiently analyzing this case for almost, has it been over 3 years, or what are we at? 2026? I don't know. 2.5, 3 years.
We're about 3.5 almost. Yeah.
You know, and we go moment by moment, what comes out, what evidence comes out, what we see. And we've been questioning everything all along. And now that we're getting the documents and everything, I mean, it's never, which I truly thought there would come a moment where something would come out and I'd be like, oh my gosh, we were so wrong. We were so wrong.
Right,
Okay.
right.
I feel stupid. Like I was and that moment has never come. And here we are after the plea deal. And now we're all like learning more about the law, and with that Supreme Court hearing the other day, and options with appeals, and now kind of looking back on the case with like, what are all the issues that are there that could be presented? And I do really feel like something will come of that.
Yes, most definitely. They're not going to just let this sit. Okay, there's no way. And I think many attorneys have said, Andrew Myers said when he was on my show last, the custody queens, Ron Funk. All of these people have said that in their minds, this is not over. From what they feel and what they see, this is not over. There's something coming. Whatever it is, we don't know. It could be that they're adding more charges to him, folks, which is dumb to say. I'm just saying. I'm trying to explain to you. It could be something, completely out of the realm of what we think, but there's something else coming with this case. It's not just dead in the water like this. It's not over.
What do you mean, or adding more charges?
I don't take that anywhere, you guys. I'm saying
sorry.
It could be the complete opposite of what we think. Okay, something stupid or crazy, like they're going to try to put more charges on him or something dumb is what I mean. There's something brewing in this case, regardless of what it is. Of course, I don't believe that that's what it is. They're done. The prosecution's done, as far as I'm concerned. It's over. Okay, on their end of things, but on the defense side, no, not even remotely, in my opinion, guys. It just, you get a feeling for this stuff. When this ended, most of us were all just kind of like dangling. Okay, that's the only way I can describe it.
In season 3, Dago, this is like season 3. We're not even close to the end of this. You know what I mean?
Seasons of Brian Kohlberger.
Right. Like, in the middle of Ozarks or the Twin Peaks, you're like, this is so wild. All this crazy stuff's going left and right, and wrong people are in prison. And you're like, this is not over. We've got 5 seasons left. That's what it feels like. We're in the middle of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's there. I can feel it. I've always, and that's why these people that can't, he admitted to it. It's over. Just get over yourself, Dago, blah, blah, blah. Sit down and shut up. Okay. That has nothing to do with it, folks. It's not done yet. You get a feeling for some of this stuff. It's like, okay, they did this. They did this. They did this. Okay. Now what's going to come next? Well, there ain't nothing else. He admitted to this and he took the plea deal and he didn't allow for any appeals in the case and it's all over. No. If you focus on this at all, if you pay any attention to this at all, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys can feel the same thing. There's a vibe that's coming from this and it's there.
There's an energy that's not even close.
Yeah, and energy is a big thing, folks, and it's emanating from this. Something big, in my opinion, is coming. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Okay, I'll be okay with that. It's not a big deal to me, but I feel it coming. Sorry.
I feel like looking at, so I feel like there's 2 options with like with an appeal, and I do feel like there's a strong chance that they could go back to the PCA and everything that's in there. I feel like they can discredit and prove that that is not true. And if you don't, because they didn't put the DNA in the PCA, and we all know that the DNA is the only thing they have solid, supposedly.
And that's not even solid either, Kim.
It's not, but it's not in the PCA is my point. Everything else, I feel like they can prove is not true. So if you don't have a probable cause, how did you arrest somebody? And I feel like that would lead to an exoneration. Okay, so that's one option. The other option is if you don't get to exoneration, then you get to, okay, go back and have a trial. And I don't know the process, so I don't know. I know they wanted to throw out the grand jury stuff. So like if they can throw out the grand jury, do they go back to a preliminary hearing? And like, are there multi steps in this that they can go back to? Or I guess my point is exoneration or going to trial. And then is that going to land him back in the same boat that they've done so much biased narrative out there in the world that going to a trial is going to land him back in prison?
I mean, I don't see if they do go to trial though. Here's the thing. If they can't use any of the old stuff, there would have to be new evidence, in my opinion. I think that's how that works. And so don't quote me, but I do believe that. So, and I think with everything that's been released within all those reports, the ISP reports, the MPD reports, the photographs from the scene, other things, I'm sure that this is what I think they've been doing. I think they've been gathering new evidence per se in the background and putting together a case in case they can get this to roll or appeal and present this new case with this new evidence or anything like that.
The defense or the prosecution?
Yeah, the defense, not the prosecution. As far as the prosecution is concerned, from what I can tell, they got their guy. They're done. They're not worried about it. Other than the fact of the narrative out here, I think they are worried in a tinge, slightly, that that he could pull an appeal, and that's why they keep running this same narrative, this whole propaganda bullshit that they repeatedly keep talking about. I think they're doing that only to try to keep everybody's minds on the same train track. Okay. To keep them going in that same direction, that Brian Kohlberger is the only one and he's guilty and blah, blah, blah. So, I think all of this, I agree with Tomboy. All of this, I think, is going to come back and haunt them all. Okay. Every bit of it, folks. And I feel so strong about this. It's either an appeal. Well, it's got to be an appeal. Okay. There's definitely, in my opinion, an appeal coming of sorts. And I think they're going to display all the misconduct by the prosecution.
Yeah.
Maybe even point out the judge's misconduct. I know that's harder to deal with and do, but I do believe,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think the whole point within this would be, if I know what I've seen from Brian Kohlberger, the man would want to completely clear his name. Okay. At the very least. But at the same time, they want to point out how this happened, why this happened. And that would be going after the prosecution and the judge and MPD and all the liars, Dylan and Bethany and everybody else that has lied on this, to point it all out to the world and say, this is why this man was sitting in prison for however long it ends up being.
Yeah.
Because all of these people lied. And why did they do that, folks? Why did they lie instead of telling the truth? And then that will lead to the truth being put out there. So
his name will never be cleared.
It'll be cleared.
They damaged him for
legally, but his reputation probably will never be cleared. No, but there will be groups of people, such as people like Jeff H. And I don't care that I said it, that will never ever accept the fact, even if it's proven in black and white, folks, that he didn't do it, because they pushed so hard. Those people that did that, they pushed so hard to prove that this man did this. So people like that will never accept it if he didn't. End of story. That's just how I feel on that. So, and I can't wait. I'm not one of them people that'll jump up and go in your face and rub your face in. I don't do that, but
oh, motherfucker, I will.
I think I'm going to do it this
after
time.
almost 4 years, I might.
I said I think I'm going to do it this time, because it's been, my face has been rubbed in shit left and right, up and down, inside out, standing on my head. And I just took it and I said, okay, we'll see. So this time I just may have to do it, guys. It's juvenile. It's immature. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. So is what everything else has been done. And all to prove a point that all we've been trying to tell you guys is to look at this side of it too. See what we're seeing. Understand why we see what we see and why we believe what we believe. And we listen to you. We listened to your points. We looked at your points. We dove into your points and said, yeah, I can understand why you feel that way. And yeah, I respect it. Never once did you do that for us. All you did was tell us how stupid we were and ridicule us through the whole thing. So I will be doing some rubbing. If it happens, I will be shoving your faces in this shit, because it's been ridiculously immature and childish, folks. That's all I'm saying. Because every human being deserves a fair trial. They deserve a fair shake at their life. And if you can prove that somebody committed a crime like this, and you want to show me that proof, you want to show Kim that proof, you want to show Krista, Tomboy, anybody else in here that proof, we're willing to look at it. But not one damn person has been able to do that. So at this time, it's time for us to show you the proof. So
yeah, because it's so many, it's so multifaceted in this case. It is, you make claims. They made claims with the about the evidence about his guilt, and then when it's time to show the receipts for those claims, your evidence doesn't match what you claimed. So there's no evidence supporting what you're saying. So we have found that over and over and over again. And then when it comes to information that needs to be seen to prove Brian innocent. Oh, it's not available. It doesn't exist. It's been edited. It's been redacted. It's not, we don't have it. Somebody else has it. So there's all of that. It's
absolutely. And it's insane. It's insane. Okay. And you can't tell me, because I see people saying dumb shit like Dylan did the best she could to recall that night. What? No. Sit down. Okay. Just stop.
My cat can do a better job of recalling things than
My granddaughter could have done a better job. Okay. She's 9 years old, guys. This is what I'm saying. Okay. There's excuse after excuse after excuse for these people to make these statements. It's enough. Okay.
So that's what I mean with multifaceted. So it's what I said before, plus the I don't false facts. I don't know what you want to call them, but claiming things that aren't true. Like they weren't true, like coming out and saying, everybody was asleep, all night. And I can't think of all the things off the top of my head right now, but
there's too many of them.
They flat out came and said to the public, to our faces, and then we find out later, like, that's not true. That's not true. I think that never happened.
I want to know who said they were in fear state and shock syndrome, because Dylan clearly said
shock. Yeah.
Law enforcement did.
Yes. Because she comes
Brandon,
up.
I don't think she didn't reach into her mind, because clearly she does not have one.
Right. Anybody else would be fight or flight, or fight or flight. You don't just go to sleep after a murderous man. You hear, and we know
Well,
that
she didn't go to sleep.
That's what I mean.
I can imitate it perfectly. I think this happened because
don't forget,
probably because I think what I saw was, but I'm not for sure, because maybe it was this.
It might have been. I think this is what happened, but I don't know. It could be mine trying to tell me it was. That's what it was, because I don't know for sure. Like, what?
You know how your brain puts things in your head that aren't true? No, lady, I don't. Do you know how you just like see somebody on the floor and you're like, oh, I just want to sleep on the floor because it's more comfortable? That's what we thought she was. You thought.
No, I'll never forgive that. You would never see your roommate or friend laying on the floor and not go check on them. I'm sorry.
In kindergarten, you learn
especially on a hard floor near the door. Like,
nobody ever thinks that, Dylan. Nobody thinks, oh, the floor is more comfortable. You learn stranger danger in kindergarten. So that's one. Two, you learned in high school that when you see your friends passed out drunk, you check on them. So all these things that they didn't do are, to me, is like you're just as guilty, because you know what stranger danger is. When you see somebody passed out, you check on them, especially if she's half naked and a murderous man was just in your house. You're like, oh, then you call them to check on them. They don't answer. So don't you go check on them, Dylan? You were calling to check.
That's not a friend. That's why they're not.
You don't answer the phone, but then don't you say, Dylan? Well, then why didn't you go check on them? You were calling.
And I guarantee you, if that would have been Emily Onstadt, okay, Dylan would have been all up in her face, all up in the mix, trying to figure it out. And we all know that. So just saying. All right, guys. Wow, what a great conversation today. We talked about a little bit of a few different things. And Kim, I'm grateful that you joined me. Tomboy, you as well. And of course, Miss Krista.
You're running late, ain't you?
Thank you.
Yeah, I am very much so. But that's okay. I started late. So I really enjoy these conversations. I'm probably going to do more of these, like throw it out there Thursday or whatever the hell we want to call it. But it was a great conversation. I know we ended up right back here anyway, but this was a good reason to have this conversation, folks. I forgot all about that interview. And it's a good one. It points out some really good things, in my opinion. So there'll be more of that kind of stuff coming too. So Krista, thank you again. Miss Kim, as always, God bless, and thank you so much. And Tomboy, again, thank you very much for all you do. And all of you in chat, you guys are absolutely amazing. I love each and every one of you for the support you give us here. If anybody chose to support us via Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chats. All of it. You guys are amazing. And I truly do appreciate each and every single one of you. Guys, please make sure that you have subscribed to Typically Unique with Miss Kim. And if not, what are you doing with your life? Come on. And of course, Reality with Krista Marie, guys. It's a little bit off the true crime path, but she still does a great job over there with all the Bravo Network stuff. She does amazing over there, guys. So please go subscribe to both channels, if you will. And again, ladies up here, thank you so much. I always appreciate all your guys' input, feelings, thoughts, all of it.
The chat was good conversation too. I like when
Yes. You guys were very interactive today, and I really, really appreciate all that. All of you guys, truly and honestly. And
great
just so you
discussion,
guys,
great questions. Yeah, you had
Yeah,
some great
yeah.
super chat questions.
always. I love this community because you guys are so intellectually amazing and very intelligent questions, and you think about things out of nowhere that sometimes I don't even think of. Like your questions get me moving, so I love it, and thank you for that.
We is smart.
Yes, I'm telling you guys, I'm super. I will die on the hill. I have the best community, the best Blue crew, the best mods, the best producer, the best videographer, all of it on YouTube. And I will argue to the death with anybody out here about that because I absolutely do. And Kim has a good one too, but you're all in the same community, so don't forget.
We all the same. We're all the same.
We're all the same. So,
I don't do true crime. I just go to there. I leave that to the professionals.
and I'm talking true crime. So yes, absolutely. So guys, you guys are amazing. Happy birthday, Miss Christina, AR Hayes, and
Happy
Jen.
birthday, Christina.
Yes.
Hey, you want me to
See you guys tomorrow at 11:30.
I just
don't
make
forget-
every time I get ready in the morning. I'm like, I finally have something because you're on for a good amount of time right when I'm doing my, curl and stuff.
That's awesome. I love that.
Don't forget to clock in over at Rima Clock with Typically Unique, guys. You don't want to miss it. It's always a great show. I will see those of you that watch us here in about 30 minutes over at Devil's Advocates Crimes After Dark with Bronx Tales True Crime, Robin 11 and Mr. Lee. Always a great show over there too, so please tune in if you have nothing else to do. Once again, folks, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and please don't change nothing. You guys are truly and honestly the beautiful people. Love to you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dago. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture